Last week, though, Jackie Sherrill announced his retirement at the end of the season, and the Bulldogs will try to send him out the way he came in, a winner. Today, State is in Lexington. The Wildcats are working toward a bowl bid in Rich Brooks' first year as head coach. Jared Lorenzen continues to pass some of the SEC's all-time greatest quarterbacks in the record books. It'll be the Dogs and Cats. You know that's always a fight, and it's coming up next. Jackie Sherrill calling it quits at the end of this season. Rich Brooks in his first year at Kentucky. My, oh my, two veteran coaches going in different directions. It's our SEC football game of the week. Mississippi State and Kentucky from Commonwealth Stadium. Both these teams, to say the least, desperately in search of a win. And hello again, everybody. I am Dave Neal, and welcome to the Bluegrass on a beautiful Saturday afternoon. And we all know by now that follow college football, that Jackie Sherrill last Friday said that he was going to retire from coaching at the end of this football season. It has been a tumultuous week, to say the least, around Starkville. A lot of questions out there concerning Jackie and where this program will go. But one thing you know, with 75 victories. And my partner, Dave Rowe, you've been around this game long enough, but it's even happened to you. From a player's standpoint, what are they going through over the last 8 days?
Well, having gone through this very exact same thing, Dave, I know exactly how the players feel. The first week, it's overwhelming. It's confusing. You start saying, what's going to happen to me? What's going to happen to Coach? Then the second week, you take a deep breath, you relax, and you start playing real hard. You play for yourself, you play for your coach. And Kentucky knows that this is a very dangerous Mississippi State team.
Let's start with the Bulldogs, because they've struggled a little bit in terms of falling behind. They've had to really rely on offense to put a lot of points on the board. They've done that, and they've done so behind a really talented wide receiver in Justin Jenkins. This guy is rewriting all kinds of records.
He has incredible statistics. Mike Archer, the defensive coordinator for Kentucky, said, we don't want him to touch the ball. We're going to double him. We're going to shade him. We're going to know where he is in every formation. That's how important he is.
Well, Justin Jenkins, one of those guys that coaches say, don't even let him touch the football. Some guys, you let him touch it, and then maybe get him, tackle him. But Justin Jenkins, we probably won't see the football if Kentucky has their way. And speaking of that Kentucky defense, what a difference a year makes. Mike Archer, the defensive coordinator, has really got this team playing well. And really, one of the guys that stepped up his play is Vincent Sweet Pea Burns.
Oh, Sweet Pea. I think he brings instant pass rush. He brings pressure. He brings disruption in the backfield. I just love the way he is fastest off 2 steps off the football. And if Kentucky is going to win, they need Sweet Pea's presence. They need him in the backfield. They need his force.
Well, we will see how that defense will shake out early, because Kentucky won the toss. They deferred to the second half, so Mississippi State will return the football. And Clint Ruth will have the kickoff honors, the junior from White House, Kentucky. Back to return, a couple of guys very talented in returning kicks. Nick Turner and Fred Reed, the top 2 kickoff return men in the Southeastern Conference, at nearly 26 a return, but they will not have an opportunity on the opening kickoff. And for more on Nick Turner, it's time to sit it down to the third member of our crew. As always, Dave Baker.
Dave, you know, you talked about Nick Turner. He didn't get a chance to return that opening kickoff, but he's going to get lots of chances today. He had the off-field problems, suspended for 7 games last year, but he's come back to be one of the top rushers in the conference this year. And Mississippi State believes that they have to pound the ball to be successful against this Kentucky defense today. Turner, the best runner for the Bulldogs between the tackles.
Kevin Fan will do the play calling to the line of scrimmage. The senior quarterback out of Moss Point, Mississippi. First handoff goes to Jarius Norwood. A big gain out over the 30, and that'll be a first down for the Bulldog offense. Mike Williams makes the tackle. Our Chevy starting lineups defensively for Mississippi State. Ray Bivens. Here's a big play guy that has big play potential, but yet 0 touchdown receptions this year. Up front, a group that will be vital to the success as Mississippi State. And Blake Jones is back in Starkville with a bad knee. He does not get to start at center today. They have decided to go with Chris McNeil at the center spot, and that'll be a big blow. Blake, one of the better centers in the Southeastern Conference. Jarius Norwood again. Trey Melch with the stop for the Wildcats. Here's our Chevy lineup for the Kentucky defensive starters. Jeremy Caught, boy, did he make a good team with Wayne Robertson last year up front.
Yeah.
Those guys were great to watch. And Dustin Williams, Darrell Wright, Raymond Fontaine, and Chad Anderson, 55. They say this guy's got superstar potential. Keep an eye on him. And in the secondary, Abdullah had 4 interceptions in the first 4 games. Has slowed down a little bit, but still tied for second in the SEC. And there's Kevin Fant as a starter for Mississippi State. 12 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. Handoff goes to Nick Turner. He gets a couple on the play near the 40. Chad Anderson with the tackle for Kentucky. Dave, today, the keys for this Mississippi State team, what do they have to do to get over the hump?
Well, they're doing it right now. They're moving the football on first down. They don't want to get in that second down and 7-8 yard situation. They're moving the football on the ground. They're controlling the line of scrimmage. Jackie Sherrill loves smash mouth football where you just run it up in there. He's used to those big linemen taking control of the game.
First big third down of the afternoon. 3rd and 4 for Mississippi State in the I formation. Bulldogs 12th in the league in 3rd down conversions. They run a little option. It's Nick Turner trying to get the corner. Cannot do it. Brought down by Irvin Flowers, the cornerback out of Temple, Texas.
Boy, what a play by Irvin Flowers, number 32. You come into the position, you hold your position. There he is on the outside. See him right there fighting. Now, hold that spot. If he comes wide, you've got to turn him back. Great play.
A little excitement from this Kentucky defense. They hold the Bulldogs. And back is Derek Abney, a man who returned 2 punts for touchdowns last year in Starkville. Jared Cook gets the punt off. It's a pretty good one. Sends Abney back to the 16-yard line. Nice juke. Gets some space and dropped at the 20. Good coverage by Mississippi State. Abney yet to take one of these punts back this year. He's getting a little bit frustrated, but he'll have some opportunities before the year's out. Our Chevy lineups offensively for the Wildcats. There is Mr. Abney, averaging 225 all-purpose yards a game. Really needs some help out of the running back crew today. Offensive line, these guys, every single one of these guys has an injury. Antonio Hall, still the man up front, 42 consecutive starts, a preseason All-American. We'll have more on him a little bit later during the telecast. And the man getting the start at quarterback, Jared Lorenzen. Last week against Ohio, Lorenzen fumbled a couple of times early and was benched in favor of Shane Boyd, who had a nice afternoon. But the coaches say that this is, at this moment, Jared Lorenzen's club. However, we will see Shane Boyd quite a bit this afternoon. Looks like Ronald Fields might have jumped up. Here's Rocky Good, our referee today.
Dead ball, offsides, defense, contact before the snap. Penalty 5 yards from the previous spot. Repeat, first down.
Here's our defensive lineup for Mississippi State. Tommy Kelly, Lenny Day, Ronald Fields, Willie Evans. These guys are pretty good. Tommy Kelly, if he could ever get his motor going non-stop from the beginning of the game until the end, he could be an all-SEC type, all-American type player. Handoff goes to Arliss Beach, the sophomore from Ashland, Kentucky, tackled by T.J. Mulwitty. There is Shane Boyd, number 7, perhaps the best athlete on this football team. He threw for a touchdown, ran for a touchdown, caught a touchdown pass last week in the win against Ohio. This guy is multidimensional, and what a tremendous athlete he is.
Boy, did he bring a spark into the game last week. They were floundering, and all of a sudden he came in and just let them down there, and that's really why they won.
Kelly popped up out of the stands. He's got back in time. There's the Renton on 2nd and 1. This is a coordinator's dream call right here on 2nd and 1, but the handoff to Arliss Beach. That'll pick up the first down. Keeping it simple early is Ron Hudson, the offensive coordinator for this Kentucky team, which is not putting up the kind of numbers people in this part of Kentucky football land are used to, but it's a very balanced attack. I mean, they're 125 yards rushing, 190 yards passing, but bottom line is they are 12th in the league, averaging 314 yards per game.
A lot of audibles on the line.
Lorenzen pump fakes, nowhere to go. Nice communication between Tommy Cook and Jerry Lorenzen. The pass pattern broke off, but Cook found a way to get open.
Yeah, I thought that was the old fake out and up. But what Cook did is he broke off the pattern. Right down here, he's going to break off the pattern now. Nowhere for Lorenzen to go. He rolls out and finds him. He loves coming to his left. He throws that strong strike. He loves that out pattern. And for one thing, for Kentucky, their game plan today is to get a quick start. They want to throw the ball immediately.
Second down and 4. Another good situation for the Kentucky offense. They hand off the beach. Tries to get out over the 40. Does so. Needed to get close to the 43-yard line from the first down. Quentin Culberson brings him down.
Oh, and that's what Kentucky has got to do. They can't have it at the line of scrimmage. They can't get locked up in the backfield. They've got to break tackles. They've got to get to the outside, and they've got to move the chain.
Jared Lorenzen only one 200-yard passing game this year, and that came in the opener when he had 236 against Louisville. So a different system for Jared this year and this entire offense. Here's Beach again after the first down and picked up 3 on the play.
Forced out of bounds by Jason Clark and Quentin
That's an
Culberson.
interesting game plan for Kentucky to run weak side, pull the offside guards, run to the outside, try to get that little roll going. They know that Mississippi State's going to bring pressure up the middle.
Kentucky has really been slow offensively out of the gate. It's a real concern for Rich Brooks. You look at those numbers, a total of 24 points in the first quarter this year, but only one score occurred actually in the quarter, you could say. They've had 3 scores with 45 or less seconds on the clock in the first quarter, so this is a decent drive for Kentucky, and they pick up another first down. Rock Johnson. I love the name, Ronald Rock Johnson. 6 foot, 245 pounds out of Cleveland, Ohio. Got the start today.
And this is the hardest play that I used to play against. It's the quick hitter up the middle. The defense and offensive linemen are locked up. You don't have time to shed your block and move over. Just coming off the ball. Boy, Rich Brooks will love that. Moving the chains, getting down, consistency on his offense.
Well, he said that Rock was going to get the start, not necessarily because of anything Alexi McGingy had done. It's just the fact that Rock Johnson has been consistent, has been a guy that worked hard and earned a right to start. He gave him the nod today. There's a little flea flicker. Lorenzen hit as he throws, going deep, looking for Andy, just out of his reach. Boy, Cook did a nice job of coming around, taking the pitch, and giving the pitch to Lorenzen, and also making a block.
Absolutely. This is flip back. It's a flea flicker, but you don't expect the defense to be right there. You see 55 right there in the picture. Now, Abney's on just a go pattern, just a little bit long. He got good separation. Ball was just thrown a little bit early.
Second down and 10-eye formation for the Wildcats. Here's a little option. The pitch goes to Beach, off the football, but it sails out of bounds. It'll still be Kentucky football. That'll bring up 3rd down.
Now, this is not what Kentucky wants. Bogged down offense when you pick up 1 or 2 yards. They want that 3, 4, 5. Player down on the field, Dave.
For injury.
Let's see if we can see what happened on that play.
Gain of 1 yard on the play. 3rd and 9 coming up.
Didn't see which player it was. Maybe we can see it again. Look to your right of your screen, see who comes up here. That's Culberson, 2 on the outside there. He comes up. He gets a good stick right there. That might be Culberson down there. He might have split a little bit. Again, Culberson is 2. Yeah, that is Quentin Culberson.
Culberson, the true freshman out of Jackson, Mississippi, has 38 tackles on the year, and he's the first freshman to start his first game at Mississippi State in 17 years. A really, really good athlete. One of these many talented young players that Jackie Sherrill has, I guess last year you could say, brought into this program. You look on their roster, they're 2 deep. There are a lot of freshmen playing for this team. scoreboard with 10:03 to go in the first quarter. Here in Lexington, Ohio State on top of Indiana 14-0. Penn State over Iowa. It's early, Dave. Don't get excited.
Yeah, right.
Clemson 13, North Carolina nothing in the first. We will step aside. Stay with us on JP Sports.
2 cheeseburgers?
Yeah. What kind of cheese do you offer on that?
We have American and Swiss.
That's it, huh? All right. You're not holding out on us here, are you? You know what we're saying? I don't know if you can see this, but there's some sort of cheese vault.
A cheese what?
A cheese vault.
Cheese vault.
There's no secret stash for VIPs because we're pretty VIP-ish.
Cheese choices. Sonic's got them, others don't. Try Sonic's new double patty melts. 2 patties with your choice of pepper jack or smoky cheddar cheese. It's not just good, it's Sonic good.
You'd never hear this from John, but he owns the best car repair shop in town. He's got a well-deserved reputation for getting it right the first time. He listens to his customers. He uses top-quality Napa parts, and he backs up his work every time. Now, as much as we'd like to take credit for it, a shop like John's isn't this good because there's a Napa sign out front. Fact is, there's a Napa sign out front because John's shop is this good.
The Nissan Pathfinder has a lot of fans. They like the roominess, the cargo capacity, and the strong 240 horsepower engine. Now get 0.9% financing or $2,000 cash back on every new Pathfinder. So move your tail. Gate the Nissan Pathfinder, 0.9 or $2,000 cash.
So our wireless network, it works here? Yes. Here? Yes. Here? No. No? Yes. No. Yes. Yes. No. Do you want some of this? Let's rumble. Let's go to the... Karen, you're the customer. Surely this is enough network for you, yes?
No.
Do we think alike or what? You want wireless coverage wherever you go. So at Alltel, we're expanding our digital network by over 150,000 square miles. Better digital coverage?
You got that right.
Alltel.
SEC football is being brought to you by Napa Auto Care Center, by Pizza Hut, by Regions Bank, by BC Powder, and by Sonic Drive-In. What a gorgeous day here in Lexington. Great afternoon for football. We are scoreless in the first quarter, and Quentin Culberson was carted off the field, and Dave Buzz Baker right on top of it. He'll give us information as soon as he gets it. Bernard Vincent comes in to replace Culberson at that right cornerback spot. Here's Lorenzen under pressure on third down. Gets driven to the ground by Ronald Fields, and that'll bring up a 4th down for Kentucky. And let's check in with Buzz quickly.
Yeah, Quentin Culberson back underneath the stands here right now, Dave. An injury to the right lower leg, as most SEC facilities have. There's an x-ray facility set up for game day here at Commonwealth. They're taking x-rays, and we'll give you an update as soon as we have it.
We hope Quentin will be okay. The true freshman out of Jackson, Mississippi. Alex Thornton now on to punt for Kentucky. Nick Turner back to return. Nick averaging 9.5 yards per punt return. Very dangerous. High kick going to go over the head and sail into the end zone. And they'll bring it out to the 20. Tommy Cook trying to make the last-ditch effort. Did not happen. Rich Brooks tied up with Jackie Sherrill. We'll return after work from your local stations.
Hometown Pros do more than home improvement. Make Sutherland's your first stop for all your fall hunting gear and clothing. We've got you covered for all your hunting needs from all your favorite brands: Columbia, Lacrosse, Mossy Oak, Old Man, Rocky, and many more. Don't waste your money at a sporting goods store. Sutherland's blows their prices out of the water. For all your hunting clothes and gear, visit your Hometown Pros at Sutherland's. Warehouse prices, hometown service.
Body Shop is proud to be one of the very few I-Car Gold Class shops in this area. We go beyond the requirements to be a gold-class shop. Every technician at Clinton Body Shop is tested through the I-CAR welding certification program. Your safety rides on the welds made on your car. We weld them right, so you don't have to worry. Your car is special. Your body shop should be too. Come see us at Clinton Body Shop, taking pride in perfection for nearly a quarter of a century.
You live a lot of your life between 0 and 55. No one understands that like your State Farm agent. That's why more people insure their cars with us than anyone else. Because we think car insurance should be as much about you as it is about your car.
In Pearl, see State Farm agent Chip Sanders. Or in Ridgeland, see Carl Venable for your insurance needs.
At Hallmark BMW, we're celebrating 35 years with the lowest prices of the year on all remaining 03 models. Save $3,000 on the 325 sedan. Or how about a new Z4 with $4,000 savings? In the market for an SUV, how about an X5 with $5 grand off? $5 grand, or the ultimate driving machine. BMW 7 Series sedan, $7,000 savings. One call does it all. 956-9696. That's Hallmark BMW. Jackson.
Today's game is brought to you in part by Hummer. Mississippi State with their second possession. Kevin Fann under center. Jarius Norwood in at tailback. A couple of tight ends for the Bulldogs. Fann rolls right, throws off the fingertips of Tommy Farrell, and that's one of those, you know, you need that so you don't have second and 10.
Absolutely. Farrell's coming off the line. He's wide open. Little reverse, come back outside here. Look at Farrell. Nobody around him, and you overthrow him. You can't float that ball there. You got to just have a little bit of a spark on it, but that's a huge play.
Farrell, the senior out of Hattiesburg, Mississippi. Lumpkin and Anderson, your two tight ends on second down and 10. Norwood still in at tailback. They'll give him a handoff off the right side. Close to the 30-yard line. If he crossed it, it'll be a first down.
Norwood carrying the ball for
Norwood came in 339 yards on the ground this year, 4.5 yards per carry.
Boy, a good block at the point of attack. David Stewart gets a good block out there. Number 60. Now kick him out right in there. You see that little dip there. Now you get him to the outside, let him use that speed. I was really surprised that Mississippi State started off with a pass.
There's Mike Archer, the defensive coordinator. This team has not allowed 30 points in 6 straight games for the first time since 1993 when Mike Archer was the defensive coordinator. Big hit at the line of scrimmage. Norwood gets a couple on the play. Stop made by Chad Anderson.
Boy, and I like number 55, Chad Anderson. Watch this. He's going to overrun. Now, get back quick, and look how square he stays. You want to stay right in the huddle, right in the hole, stay square, keep those shoulders square. But he got fooled, making a great recovery.
Here's what Chad Anderson has done in his last 3 games. 11 tackles versus Florida, 19 tackles for South Carolina, 14 tackles last week against Ohio. 54 total stops this year. Second down, Fann runs with it, has a seam close to the 40-yard line. He'll be about a yard, maybe a half a yard shy of the first down. Lamar Mills hustles back from his nose tackle spot to bring Fann down.
Well, sometimes your quarterback can get you out of trouble. He drops back here. The pocket breaks down. Now he steps up looking downfield. All of a sudden now he picks the football up. And I was watching Vincent Burns, numbers 98. He should have him on this play. Look, he's going to come here, come back outside. He's got him right there, and all he's doing is grabbing air. You got to hold on. That's the difference between 1 yard and 6 or 7 on third down.
Boy, Richard Burt, the sophomore tackle out of Brandon, Mississippi, did a nice job on Sweet Pea on that possession. Third and short. Handoff Norwood. Hit by Anderson. But I believe Norwood might have fallen forward and picked up the first down on a second effort.
Boy, that is the difference on this run, Davis, that second effort. There was nowhere to go in the middle. They clogged it up. Watch this right in there. It's clogged. And look at this effort right there. He's going down. He turns and actually falls. Again, they're excited, but they just, I mean, it was so close. They had great initial effort, just needed to bring them down.
Right. I mean, that's fundamental, Dave. You got to wrap them up.
Absolutely. Can't let them twist and roll and fall forward.
Fresh center down as the Bulldogs pick up the first down fairly. Norwood has some speed. Down to the 41-yard line. Bo Smith finally brings him down, a gain of 18 on the play.
And Dave, anytime you have a player that's an outstanding player, a lot of times you run right at him. Look at this hole develop. Good block right in there, good block right there, and look at the size of that hole that he has to go through. Now, get to the outside, use that speed that you have.
Norwood kind of limped off, still hobbling a little bit. 6 carries, 47 yards. Nick Turner in the game. Little play action to Nick, and Fant will roll and throw. Looking for Justin Jenkins, the SEC's leading receiver, and overthrew him.
Well, it looks to me like Fant is trying to place the ball rather than deliver the football. You want to throw on your action. You don't try to float it out there. You want to take a little bit off, yes, but to go through with your motion, deliver the football. He's too good a quarterback to make those mistakes.
Kevin Fant leading this offense. 383 yards a game, 7th in the league. Averaging 250 yards through the air. High formation on 2nd down and 10. Fant will throw. Fant has his man open is Omar Connor. Connor inside the 10. And run out of bounds at about the 8-yard line.
Boy, Connor ran an outstanding route. It's a little fade to the outside. Watch him on the outside right here. Now, just turn it up and get separation. The ball is well thrown. Now, that's delivering the football. Just a little curl out there. Just made a great look in.
Omar Connor threw for almost 10,000 yards as a high school quarterback, a true freshman out of Macon, Mississippi. The coaches say he will probably go back in the spring and get back in the quarterback rotation. This young man is just too good of an athlete to sit on the sidelines, and you just saw it. Timeout on the field.
Okay, with Nissan's Frontier Value Truck Package, you get privacy glass, air conditioning, a CD stereo, alloy wheels, a body color package, and you save up to $3,599 bucks. That's the beauty. Here's the beast. 2003 Nissan Frontier King Cab with Value Truck Package at your Nissan dealers now.
A fishing guide in the bayou, a chef downtown, a pet shop owner on Main Street. As diverse as they are, these small business owners all have one thing in common: Regions Bank. That's because for business, there's no better choice than Regions and its hometown community bankers. In fact, Regions is rated #1 in the nation in friendliness to small businesses by the SBA. To find out how Regions can help you, stop by any branch or click Regions.com. Regions Bank, the official bank of the SEC Championship.
Try as they might to give you everything, some companies still only offer half of what you need. Only we bring you exactly what you need at new lower prices you're going to like. Bell South answers. You can even save up to $350 a year because we have more ways to bundle unlimited long distance and local with everything else on one bill. Oh, and those guys that only offer you half, it doesn't apply to the price. Bell South. Listening, answering.
Hey, barbecue boy, it's time for a new kind of barbecue, Pizzone style. Pizza Hut's new honey barbecue chicken pizzone. Barbecue seasoned white meat chicken with a sweet and tangy honey barbecue dipping sauce. Just $5.99. Get the new honey barbecue chicken pizzone or any of our tasty pizzone recipes. Just $5.99 or $2.99 when you buy your family's favorite large pizza at menu price.
We may never barbecue again.
Enjoy that barbecue taste anytime when you gather around the good stuff.
That's right, it's time to tailgate, and they do so extremely well here in Lexington, Kentucky, and they've got their Chick-fil-A party tray. Don't forget, you get a free gallon of tea with any purchase of a Nuggets party tray through November 15, 2003. Those folks were out there at 7:30 this morning. You gotta love their dedication. Hand off to Nick Turner. Turner trying to catch the corner, couldn't do it. Nice play from Bo Smith, number 24. Let's check in with Dave. And Buzz, a little different atmosphere since we were here a couple of weeks ago when Florida was in town.
Mike Archer told his coaches at that time on the headsets it was the loudest crowd he'd ever heard. Of course, this is big thoroughbred country. The Breeders' Cup is taking place out in Santa Anita today. There are 4 live races down the road at Keeneland. The UK offense hadn't been able to get anything going in the first quarter, and this has been a perfect scenario for Mississippi State to put together a first quarter drive.
Let's see if they can put it in the end zone. Fan rolling. Dragged out of bounds by Jeremy Caudle.
Well, I thought that Tommy Farrell did an excellent job, the tight end that time, not blocking in the back. It was going to be a tight end drag. You see him coming off here. Van doesn't have anybody to throw to. Farrell on the right of your picture, right there. You see it. He did not block in the back. That could have been a clip. Just stayed away from it.
Caudle, 31 tackles this year, 5 for loss, 3.5 sacks. Here's 3rd and goal. 4 wide receivers on 3rd and goal from the 6. Van has his man, and it's dropped in the end zone by Ray Bivens. Ray has yet to have a touchdown reception this season, and that's kind of a shock at this point in the year.
Well, I think Huffman fell down in the back here. You see him, he slipped down back there. Bivens got nobody there. Again, I mean, this is just pitch and catch. You got to help your quarterback out. Oh, man, that is a huge drop.
Coach Sherrill talking to Ray.
You can't miss those, Dave. You got to help your quarterback out. That's 7 points compared to 3. That's huge.
If you can connect on the field goal.
Yeah.
.39 to go in the first quarter. Mississippi State awaiting a field goal opportunity when we come back.
What are Mississippi State alumni up to these days? They're writing the world's best-selling novels. They're hitting 500 major league home runs. They're helping music stars sound their best. They're making pizza even better. They're designing equipment that makes chips for computers and cell phones. They're building the world's best kitchen appliances. They're running the world's largest furniture company. They're making a difference.
It all adds up to a bright future for you at the University of Kentucky.
Brent Smith on to attempt the field goal from 22 yards out. And it is good. Boy, it was hooking left. But he got through the uprights, and that's all you need. Brent Smith has now made 16 of his last 17 field goal attempts and has no misses under 40 yards. Pretty good stuff, but, you know, Ray Bivens would have loved to have made that touchdown reception and make it a 7-0 game instead of 3-0. But Jackie Sherrill has to be happy with an early lead against Kentucky on the road. Dave, Jackie's been around 26 years as the head coach, from Washington State to Pittsburgh to Texas A&M, now to Mississippi State, and he ranks 4th among active coaches in wins with 180. That's pretty good company.
Oh, that's great company right there. Those are all legends of the NCAA. And my old coach there, Joe Paterno, he's fighting to try to stay in first place with Bobby Bowden. But Jackie Sherrill, tremendous influence on the game, too. I always love his intensity. He's always writing something down. He writes down notes the entire game.
Hummer scoreboard. Penn State was up 7-0, but here come the Hawkeyes down by 1 in the second. Ohio State still 2 touchdowns better at this point than Indiana, and Clemson ahead of North Carolina 13-7. That was 13-0. talking to his running back, Arliss Beach, awaiting his opportunity. A squib kick taken at the 23-yard line. And some room by Jeremiah Dropney. And he gets out over the 40 to the 44-yard line. And a strange sequence of events right before the field goal with a timeout. And for more on that, let's check in with Buzz.
Bad play and a good play by the Cats, Dave. The Kentucky coaches up in the box caught the fact they had 12 men on the field right before that field goal attempt. They took the timeout. If they hadn't, and they had attempted the kick with a 12 men on, Mississippi State would have had it first and goal at the 5. So good play to pick it up, but bad play on the transition on the kicking game.
Well, Buzz, you will remember this. We were here for it.
Oh, yeah.
Kentucky had 12 men on the field against Florida, and it cost them, you could almost say, the football game.
That turned the entire Florida game around.
Flag down by our line judge.
Dead ball. Ball start. Offense. Penalties 5 yards from the previous spot. Remains first down.
Line judge, Alabama Matthews, but Rocky Good, our referee today.
Well, Dave, I'm going to tell you, Rich Brooks said to us yesterday, he said, we have just shot ourselves in the foot so many times. Come out, have a penalty, put it in first and 15 yards, and what do? They start right off the same situation. They've got to be more consistent, more disciplined on offense.
Little play action for Lorenzen. Has all Tate throw. Coming near side, has Cook, kicks the foot inbound. Nice throw and catch. First down, Kentucky. Gain of 20 yards.
Well, compliment the offensive line on this play. A lot of time. Look at Lorenzen just sitting back there. Nobody coming up on him. A lot of time to sit back there, look off his second and third receiver, and find Cook on a little crossing pattern. Big down there.
Ron Hudson told us yesterday they're really trying to get Jared, and even Jared admitted it, that we got to keep him in the pocket, and that's exactly what he did. Here's Beach. Breaks the tackle. Gets it inside the 40 to the 38. And as you just saw moments ago, Jared Lorenzen just passed Shane Matthews. Now fourth all-time in the SEC in passing yards. 9,306. Goodness,
that's a lot of yards. That's a lot, my friend. I really like Jared Lorenzen. I like his attitude. I just think he plays so much better when he doesn't press himself. And, you know, most quarterbacks, you want real tense. You want them real professional, you know, concentrating and focusing. But Lorenzen seems to play better when he's kind of just loose.
Beach is hit and dropped for a substantial loss by Jason Clark, the senior out of Starkville, who just continues to make plays. The guy is just a solid all-around football player, and you can see why.
Oh, number 40 comes up and makes a pile. Just refuses to get down. Not only plays off the block, which is perfect and makes the pile, but makes the tackle. That's just great eyesight. That's keeping your mind on the game.
Out of Starkville, Mississippi, a hometown product. Coach Sherrill said he's just the best all-around defensive player we have on this team. He's just a, quote, player.
Yeah, amen. Oh, he is. He's just got so much to bring to the game.
And he's going to graduate in May with a criminal justice degree. Jared Lorenzen and the Wildcats have to take a timeout. Crowd not too happy about that. That'll leave the Wildcats with one timeout remaining in this half with 4:55 to go here in the first quarter. Well, folks, for the most up-to-date information on the 2003-2004 SEC basketball season, look for the long-standing authority on college basketball, Street & Smith. Pick up your copy of the all-new fact-filled Street & Smith SEC Preview. Now available at newsstands throughout the South. Kentucky Wildcats have a blue and white scrimmage tonight. We've got the SEC Basketball Media Days coming up. This Kentucky team, I'm anxious to see them take the court because they took the country by storm last year. Tubby Smith rolled through the Southeastern Conference and it was one game away from making it to the Final Four, but that is what they have in Kentucky basketball, a winning attitude, and people around here are already talking about it, as you might imagine.
Well, I think you bring up a really good point. Nobody expected them to do anything last year. It was kind of a rebuilding year. Man, they stormed through the conference.
Next week, we will take our cameras back to Oxford, Mississippi, where we will check in with the Ole Miss Rebels. South Carolina comes to town, 12:30 Eastern, 11:30 Central Time, right here on Jefferson Pilot Sports. And be sure and Keep an eye on those Rebels later tonight. They're taking on Arkansas in a big Western Division showdown. Auburn LSU also going at it. Lorenzen hit by Tommy Kelly, the 6'6", 305-pound senior out of Jackson, Mississippi, with a big defensive play.
Boy, Kelly's all the way on the back side of the play. The play is rolling around on him. He's all the way over here on the left side. That's him right over there. Now, just keep on coming, and when the quarterback pulls up, you see him come up in there. Good play. Never quit on the play. Didn't give up when it went away from him.
Nick Turner, deep for the
Just
Bulldogs.
going to call that a tackle for Tommy Kelly. Thought it might have been close to a sack, but just a routine tackle.
Oh, I know.
For Tommy.
But that really bothers me because when a quarterback rolls, they're saying it's a run.
High kick. This is a really nice kick from Thornton. It'll be taken at the 7-yard line by Nick Turner. Well, for all you young fans, SECkids.com is the place to be on the internet. You can learn about your favorite schools and athletes, and more importantly, play some really cool games, like Dave Rowe likes to do.
Oh, yeah.
SECkids.com, the new sports website for kids from the SEC. Dave Rowe, you're a computer guy, right?
Oh, I love it, man. I am. I'm telling you right now. There's the kids. That's the future right there.
Oh, isn't she a cutie?
It's just beautiful.
Great day to be at the ballpark. About 68, 70 degrees, sunny, a little bit of cloud cover. It's a beautiful part of the country. That didn't go anywhere. It loses a couple of yards. Jeremy Caudle, the senior from Martin, Kentucky, at 295 pounds, brings down the 180-pound Nick Turner.
Well, what Caudle does is he breaks through state square and gets in the backfield. He has good penetration. He's got great skills. He's the senior up front. He answered with a big play. That's what you've got to do. You've got to think run when you're down there if you're a defensive lineman. You've got to play run, react to pass second.
Remember, Mississippi State going without their senior from Athens, Alabama, Blake Jones, at center today. Turner nowhere to go. Tried to catch the short side. Maybe got a couple on the play. Dustin Williams runs him out of bounds. Dustin, the team's leading tackler.
And you know, I watched film of Dustin Williams, and he's so much better than he was early. He's just playing so much better because he's reacting to his reads really well, sliding along the line and making tackles.
Well, we got an injury report on Jarius Norwood. Dave, what do you got?
Dave, he rolled his ankle, and he's got a turf toe problem. They've got so much tape on him to try to get him back in. They're trying to create some space in his shoe. He's limping around pretty good. I don't know whether he'll make it back or not, which puts the load on Nick Turner.
Norwood having a good game with 47 yards. Here's third down for the Bulldogs. And Fant overthrows his intended target, McKinley Scott. And that'll bring up a punting situation.
Boy, a lot of pressure on Kevin Fant. Stay in the pocket. Stay in the pocket. That's what you're taught. Those linemen are supposed to roll everybody to the outside, but a lot of pressure on Fant. He knew it. Had to get rid of the ball just a little bit early.
Fant has been sacked 22 times this year, but hasn't been brought down for a sack yet today. Derek Abney back to return a punt. Cook averaging 39.6 per punt. Gets this one off, angles for the near sidelines where Abney takes it and has to step out of bounds. That might be one of the best punts I have seen all year to a dangerous returner.
Absolutely. You punt to the sideline, and when it goes out of bounds, he catches it right on the sideline step. You can't punt better than that.
A lot of times we see guys angle for the sidelines and they'll shank it and you only have a 20-yard punt, but he got the most of that punt and still kept it in play, and Abney couldn't do anything with it. Nice job by Jared Cook, the junior from Columbus, Georgia. For this Kentucky offense, we talked about how slow that they have gotten out of the gates offensively. Once again, they are struggling to find some points, and Shane Boyd comes in to maybe provide that spark that they need right now.
Well, and I watched the film last week. Boyd does so many different things. He can be a quarterback. He can be he's a great tailback. He ran one all the length of the field.
And that's where he lines up at tailback. Now he'll split out to the near side as a wide receiver as Boyd goes into shotgun formation. Lorenzen hit immediately by Tommy Kelly. I don't know if anybody even got a paw on the big man.
Well, quarterback is supposed to have 2.5 seconds to get the ball out. He didn't have any 2.5 seconds. Tommy Kelly just came right off. He's all the way up there. He's just going to come running like a streak. And look at this. Nobody puts a hand on him. He's on a dead run. That's just no time.
Antonio Hall came back there, saw the backside of Tommy Kelly, but Tommy Kelly with 3 sacks this year.
And that's probably the easiest because he didn't have to fight anybody off. That was just an excellent rush.
We've heard it over and over again. If Tommy Kelly played every down with the intensity he just played that one, he'd be an All-American. Not much happening for the Wildcats. Shane Boyd hit by Willie Evans. Well, Quentin Culberson, the cornerback for Mississippi State, went down early in this quarter, carted off the field, and Buzz has an update on that one.
News does not sound good, Dave. They are, quote, immobilizing the ankle back in the locker room right now. He's done for the game, and I'm sure they'll be taking a closer look afterwards to see what his prognosis for the season is.
We hope he will be okay down the road. 3rd down and 16. Lorenzen under pressure. Jarrett hit again at the 29, and he is a little upset to say the least. This time it was Willie Evans from Waynesboro, Mississippi, his 4th sack of the year.
Well, Lorenzen's got a good pocket to step up. Now it crushes down. He moves well in the pocket. He's going to scramble up here. Now he thinks he can look downfield, and all of a sudden he's collapsed by Willie Evans, number 36. And he should be mad. He should be mad. He's not getting time to sit back there. You have to have confidence in those offensive linemen. They got to fan him out, and you step up. And look at the anger on his face.
Mississippi State will have pretty good field position after the punt from Anthony Thornton. Nick Turner stands at the 28-yard line. Low snap, kick is off. High kick, spiral. Turner will have a chance to return this one from the 30. Nick Turner out over the 40 to the 42-yard line, and you can bet Nick Turner will get a lot of action today with Jarius Norwood hobbled on that sideline with turf toe and a bad ankle. We'll see if just how much action Jarius Norwood will get the rest of the afternoon. As you heard Dave Baker say, they're really putting a lot of tape on that foot.
Well, that is tough when you turn your ankle. You have such a good first part of the game. I mean, he had a great average, had a lot of yards, and he even comes hobbling in here.
He's going to give it a shot, at least on this possession, and see how he can stand up to that pain. He's in his tailback, number 12, Jarius Norwood. In motion, Omar Connor. Here is Norwood. Looks healthy to me. Looks real healthy. Jarius Norwood. Touchdown, Bulldogs.
If he's got a sprained ankle, I'm going over there and I'm twisting all my other guy's ankle. What a cut. He hobbled into the football game. He came back. He's the back man right back there. When he takes the football, he's just going to make a great cut right in here now. Sees the hole. Now just sets him up and runs by him. And look at this. Bad ankle, and he outspent everybody.
Yeah, that looks really painful.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
58 yards for Jarius Norwood.
Don't put any more tape on it. It's just fine.
Norwood has gone over the century mark already with 7 carries, 105 yards. Point after is up and good, and the Bulldogs on the road lead it 10-0 with 35 seconds to go in the first quarter. Jarius Norwood today has been pretty impressive in his 7 touches for football.
Yeah, I like he's got good vision. He's got that explosion to the outside. When he sees that little hole, you see him just put that head down and start rumbling. And none bigger than that last one. That last one, bad ankle. Look at that. 105 yards, averaging, what, 15 yards? Man, oh, man.
A lot of people don't know this, is that last week he was bothered by back spasms and really gave way to Nick Turner for the majority of the second half of that football game against Auburn last week. And he even had some equipment issues, and Buzz has more on that.
Well, listen, I'm not making this up, Dave. I mean, he really is hurt, but I mean, they put so much tape on his ankle and his toe that the managers on the play before that had just brought out a bigger pair of shoes. They hadn't gotten him into the shoes yet, but his foot was so cramped because of all the tape that they were trying to get him in a bigger shoe. I think I'd leave him in the pair he's got right now.
Yeah, I think whatever size he went to, that's a good size.
Boy, if he can run like that, he can borrow my shoes.
Oh, mercy. Kentucky sluggish again, falling behind. Mississippi State already has 151 yards of offense. Kentucky just 41.
And Dave, last week when Kentucky got a poor start, they quickly changed and brought in Shane Boyd at quarterback. Now they used him as that wide out, you know, shifting him out of the backfield. I wouldn't be a bit surprised to see them just go to Shane Boyd.
Another line drive low kick. Abney will have to track it down at the 8, and Mississippi State there to make the play inside the 20. Good kickoff coverage from the Bulldogs, and there is Jarius Norwood's hot feet right now.
Look at that shoe. That's a big foot right there. Look at that thing.
He's got a size 10.
There it is.
He's got a size 10 foot.
This is a size 8. That's a 13.
First down and 10 for the Wildcats. Lorenzen frustrated on that last possession. And wide open, tight end Dropney out over the 25. They'll mark it at the 26-yard line. They'll bring up second down and 3. So far in this game, Jared Lorenzen, 3 of 5 for 33 yards. That may do it for the first quarter. And once again, good news, bad news. Kentucky trails at the end of the first quarter. That's the bad news. The good news is the first quarter's done with, and now maybe they can go attack and score some points. It's the Bulldogs and the Wildcats, 10-0 Mississippi State. Stay with us on Jefferson Pilot Sports.
Well, if you ever plan to motor west, take my way, that's the highway, that is the best. Keep the kicks out on Route 66. Get your kick out on Route. You'll be feeling real fine on Route 66.
You'd never hear this from John, but he owns the best car repair shop in town. He's got a well-deserved reputation for getting it right the first time. He listens to his customers. He uses top-quality Napa parts, and he backs up his work every time. Now, as much as we'd like to take credit for it, a shop like John's isn't this good because there's a Napa sign out front. Fact is, there's a Napa sign out front because John's shop is this good.
Suzuki presents a look back at a previous SEC Heisman Trophy winner. This week, we take you to 1971, the senior year of Pat Sullivan. Sullivan, a pure passer, had a 58% pass completion average for 2,012 yards that year. The SEC Player of the Year posted 22 touchdowns en route to capturing the 1971 Heisman Award. The NFL's Atlanta Falcons drafted Sullivan the following year.
Suzuki, proud presenting sponsor of the Heisman Trophy.
Hey, barbecue boy, it's time for a new kind of barbecue, Pizzone style. Pizza Hut's new honey barbecue chicken pizzone. Barbecue seasoned white meat chicken with a sweet and tangy honey barbecue dipping sauce. Just $5.99. Get the new honey barbecue chicken pizzone on any of our tasty pizzone recipes. Just $5.99 or $2.99 when you buy your family's favorite large pizza at menu price.
We may never barbecue again.
Enjoy that barbecue taste anytime when you gather around the good stuff.
Kentucky leads this series with Mississippi State 17-3, but Kentucky won last year 45-24. They trailed at the half 17-16, but then Derek Abney returned 2 punts for touchdowns in the third quarter. The Wildcats came out with a victory. They trail here in the second quarter by 10. Drop snap, and Mississippi State has recovered at the 26-yard line.
Boy, it's going to be interesting to see if Lorenzen pulled out too quickly.
Marvin Birdsong with the recovery.
Watch his hands, see if he pulls out. Yes, he pulled his hands out too quickly. The ball was behind it. Now, that could be the center's problem, not getting the ball up there fast enough, but definitely a problem there, and you give Mississippi State great field position.
Lorenzen with 2 fumbles last week in the opening quarter against Ohio. And that's when Rich Brooks went to Shane Boyd at quarterback. Frustrating afternoon to this point for the Wildcats, to say the least. Now they have to rely on their defense. Flags come flying in. Plenty of time on the play clock. Wait for Rocky Good to make this call.
Dead ball, snap infraction against the offense. Penalty's 5 yards from the previous spot, remains first down.
And I go back to Chris McNeil under center in place of Blake Jones with a knee injury back in Starkville. Our Gatorade first quarter stats, all Mississippi State.
That's a huge one right there. 15 yards rushing. Not been able to run the football. Mississippi State controlling at the line of scrimmage.
There's a little reverse. Omar Connor picks up about 5 back to the original line of scrimmage. Dustin Williams makes the play.
Reverses always take so long. The fan gives it off to Turner, and then he comes back around here. It just takes so long to get downfield. And the speed of these defensive players, they're able to recover so quick. If I was Mississippi State, I know what I'd do. I'd run it back up the middle where they've had a lot of success, Dave.
Nick Turner is your tailback. And he gets the handoff off the right side, cuts it back down to the 20-yard line. Trey Melch makes the tackle for the Wildcats. This is a Mississippi State team that had a 2-game win streak snapped last week when they were just dismantled by Auburn. And to a man, Mississippi State said that Auburn just too big, too powerful for them last week.
Well, they've got a lot of talent. It's just very young talent.
3rd down and 4. In motion, Ray Bivens. Here's the handoff to Turner. Cuts it back inside. Has the first down and more down to the 13-yard line. Hard running from Nick Turner. And this is an offense that doesn't have the big bruising 220-pound tailback that you'd never know it.
Well, they've got Nick Turner, and he can make things happen. What he did is he just read it. We have a man down, but he read that cut back inside. That looks like it may be Will Rogers down.
Will Rogers steps up to that guard spot that was anchored by McNeil, but McNeil now playing at center.
Dave, did you see the cut there that Turner made on this? Right on the tail play, right here. There's 69 who gets hurt. But again, look at right here. Oh, he gets rolled up on. You can see he gets rolled up on his leg. But how about Turner's cut back inside him? He saw that. He knows the yardage. 3rd down, about 5 to go. And he just cuts it back up thinking first down.
Rogers out of Fairburn, Georgia. Avery House checks in from Springville, Alabama, I should say. Already one bad injury to a Mississippi State player today. That occurred in the first quarter to Quentin Culberson. Well, fans, jpsports.com has the coverage you want. No one knows the SEC like JP Sports, and we bring you the information online. Tune in each week for previews of upcoming games, broadcast information, and many other exciting features. jpsports.com, brought to you by the Rechargeable Battery Recycling Corporation. Boy, it's a makeshift offensive line right now.
Oh, yeah. Everybody across there's got injuries. You leave your starting center home. Now you got to replace Will Rogers. They weren't deep there to start the game.
First down and 10. Bivens in motion. Jenkins to the top of your screen in one-on-one coverage, but they'll hand it off to Turner. Maybe got a yard. Speaking of, as I said, Justin Jenkins up there isolating one-on-one coverage, Dave. He hasn't even been a factor at this point. It's all been rushing.
Well, exactly. They're controlling the line of scrimmage, and they've had Norwood, and they've had Turner eating up big yardage. I wouldn't go out there to the wide outs either, Jenkins or Bivens, because they've been able to control the line of scrimmage. Now see if Mike Archer's defense can make some adjustments and hold him here to at least a field goal try and stay into this football game.
Bivens and Jenkins to the top. Play action. Here's Justin Jenkins. Kentucky all over it. Bo Smith with the quick hit. The sophomore out of Owensboro, Kentucky, playing with a broken hand.
Boy, Bo Smith reacted so quickly on this ball. It's just going to be a turn. Now he turns right there. Watch Bo Smith. He's not even in your picture. Look how quickly he comes in there. Great reaction. I was looking at Sweet Pea on that play. When he went down, he got face masked, and he came down on his hand. I wondered if he hurt his hand on that play. See how slowly he is getting up?
It's going to take a lot to keep Sweet Pea out of this one.
Yeah.
3rd down and 9. 4 wideouts in the game for the Bulldogs. Pressure coming. Fant throws it back over the middle. And Ray Bivens has his first touchdown reception of the season. It took a while, but he got it.
Well, and credit Kevin Fant on that play. He did an outstanding job of moving in the pocket, getting away from the pressure. Pressure is going to come from the outside. They push wide. Now look at him step up. See there, you saw Sweet Pea Burns come around to the outside. Then just square up and look and find Bivens. And Mike Archer's just going, oh, no. Now, his offense hasn't done anything. His defense has been on the field the entire first part of this football game.
For Kevin Fant, his 13th touchdown pass of the season. And the folks in Lexington are shocked, to say the least, and so are the players. My goodness, 17-0 Mississippi State.
Action! Remember, when you hit the water, I need you to hydroplane out of control. Water! Remember, out of control. Cut! No, cut! Cut. Second. Fire the stunt driver.
The new Michelin Hydro Edge with patented hydro chutes. It's our best performing tire in its class. Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires.
Drive into Sonic today and prepare to make some difficult cheese choices. Introducing our new double patty melts. 2 juicy all-beef patties and 2 slices of spicy pepper jack or smoky cheddar cheese. Made with grilled onions and served between 2 big pieces of Texas toast. The Sonic Double Patty Melt. It's not just good, it's Sonic good. And don't forget to try Sonic's new Breakfast Club Toaster Sandwich. Made with egg, cheese, tomato, ham, and bacon. And served on thick Texas toast.
One phone company committed to the idea of quality. It's a spirit, it's a commitment, it's a spearmitment. What more could a customer want?
A guarantee would be nice.
Do we think alike or what? At Alltel, if you're not happy with our call quality, you can end your agreement within 15 days, guaranteed.
Spearmitment.
A quality guarantee?
You got that right.
Alltel.
Experience Toyota's full line of quality 2004 SUVs. From RAV4 to Land Cruiser, your Toyota dealers got an SUV for everyone and every budget. It's time to trade up. See your Toyota dealer now.
Today's game is brought to you by Alltel. We do wireless like you do wireless. Alltel. You got that right.
That is correct. 17-0 Mississippi State over the Wildcats. A lot of time left to go before intermission. Jared Lorenzen standing on that sideline. Will he come out and be the quarterback, or will they give it to Shane Boyd? We'll find out in a matter of seconds. Kick sails into the end zone. Drake Davis will take a knee. And moments ago, while we were in commercial break, Justin Jenkins, with 1 catch today, headed off to the locker room. The SEC's leading receiver came in with 47 receptions. We'll get an update from Dave Baker on that. And here's Shane Boyd to take over the sluggish Kentucky offense.
Dave, what he did in last week's game is he ran a quarterback sneak immediately, and he ran it for like 30 yards.
Tommy Kelly in Boyd's face. His pass is incomplete to Rock Johnson. Last week against Ohio, Shane Boyd was a true triple threat last Saturday. The junior was involved in 4 of the 5 Wildcat touchdowns. He ran for 2 scores, had an 8-yarder in the second quarter and a 12-yarder in the third. He threw for 1 when he hit Tommy Cook on a 42-yard pass. And then he followed that up with a 30-yard TD catch from Lorenzen to finish out his scoring as Kentucky won 35-14. Boyd accounted for 169 yards, 85 rushing, 54 passing, 30 receiving. Pretty good stuff a week ago. Quarterback draw. Shane Boyd trying to get to the outside, and Boyd will take it to the 26-yard line. He'll be 4 yards shy of the first down.
Well, that's exactly what he did last week in the film. He started this little quarterback draw and get outside. Now, you've got to count on getting a block from your wide receiver. That right there, you've got to have that block there. That's Tommy Cook. You got to knock him down, get in his way. But Shane Boyd, tremendous threat back there, can throw the football, but he is more of a threat, I think, running the football. I'm really impressed with him running.
Boyd, 6'2", 220 pounds. He looks small compared to Lorenzen, but he's still a big old boy.
And you know what's amazing? They count as missed tackles, but he just breaks tackles. One side's calling it missed tackles, the other side's calling it broken tackles. When you come out here, he squares up. He's going to throw this ball now. He just brings it down. There's 1 miss. There's 2 misses. Here comes 3. And he just keeps on stretching, picks up the first down. And that's all that Rich Brooks is trying to do with his team. Just try to get a spark. Get something going. Get some offense. Move the chains.
Play action. Nice play fake. Boyd to throw. Over the middle. Over Appy's head. Nearly right into Darren Williams' hands.
And Dave, if I have any criticism of Shane Boyd, it's that he throws the ball sometimes too hard. Abney had a real nice pattern. He's just going to come across the middle. Now this ball's just a rocket. You can see he just barely gets a hand. It's way high on it. And Shane Boyd just knows he's got to have that touch. He's got to take something off it a little bit. So does the coaching staff.
Well, Shane Boyd, a former baseball player here for the Wildcats. A pitcher, so you know he's got a great arm.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes too good.
Yeah, exactly. That's a fastball.
Second down and 10 now. Shotgun for Boyd and the Wildcats. Here comes some pressure from Mulwinning. Boyd dodges 1 tackler. Can't get out of the grasp of the second man, Lenny Day, the senior out of Mobile, Alabama. His first sack of the day.
Well, Lenny Day, number 91, is going to save the day because Mulwinning just misses the tackle right here. When you get him like that, you've got to bring him down. You're the middle linebacker. But 91 just rolls around. But look at this. Mulwinning just up there. He's right there. He's got him. But he just doesn't lose, just loses contained. But Lenny Day, 91, again, he saves the tackle, gets the sack.
Lenny Day got the start today. Trying to make it so he can start next week as well.
Oh, a lot of time.
Boyd has all day.
Golly.
Throws a bullet that should have been picked off at the 35-yard line. Slovakia Griffin dropped it, but still it'll bring up a 4th down.
This is what you call all day. 2.5 seconds. That's gone. 3 seconds. 4 seconds. Golly. Look at the time he had back there. Then he almost throws an interception.
Well, good thing he threw it so hard.
Exactly. Griffiths wasn't ready for it.
Nick Turner back to return the punt for the Mississippi State as Kentucky lines up in punt formation. Anthony Thornton back to do the punting for the Big Blue. End over end kick. Turner will have a chance to return it. Turner to midfield, so once again, good field position for the Bulldogs. Shane Boyd makes that special teams tackle. 10:08 to go in the first half from Lexington.
This isn't complicated.
The Ronnie Musgrove record.
A $700 million budget hole.
Record job losses.
Voted for huge tax increases.
No wonder he supported Al Gore for president.
Musgrove's largest contributor is a trial lawyer under indictment for bribery.
Under Musgrove, drug enforcement slashed while crime explodes.
And our state flag, he fought to get rid of it.
Rising crime, record job losses, attacking our flag.
That's exactly what I've done as governor, and I'm proud of that.
We can do better.
Protecting your family is a 24/7 job. But is your life insurance doing its job? With a variety of life insurance options, we'll help you be absolutely sure you've got the right coverage and the protection you need.
We live where you live. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
In Pearl, see State Farm agent Chip Sanders. Or in Ridgeland, see Carl Venable for your insurance needs.
How y'all doing this morning?
Good evening.
Evening? Something's up. Must be a full moon. This better be good.
Bodacious mudslinging 2004 Z71 starting at 24,888.
New Impala 16,888.
New Cavalier starting at 8,988. Come to the new Rogersdale Chevrolet Hummer.
And let us scare up a good deal for you.
How did he do that?
The final weekend of Muskelly's 25th anniversary sale with special hours Saturday till 7 p.m. Broyhill, Lazy Boy, Lane, Seeley, Simmons, all marked down and re-tagged now for Muskelly's 25th anniversary and take 25 months interest-free. Plus, you could win one of our great prizes, including this Escape from Great Daniels Ford to be given away live on television. Thanks, Mississippi, for 25 years, where we still treat you like a brother.
SEC football is brought to you in part by Toyota. And off Nick Turner. Nick Turner drives inside the 45 down to the 43-yard line. Dion Holtz, a man who was suspended last week, back on the field this week for the Wildcats.
When Kentucky is going to have to get some pressure, you cannot let them run first down. That brings up 2nd and 4 yards, 3 to 4 yards. That's an incredible down for offense. That's a very productive down. You've got to stop them, get that, bring up that 2nd and 7, 8, 9 yards.
Mississippi State has had quite a few 2nd down and 3s and 1s. This time they run a pitch, and it'll bring up 3rd down and about 2 now. Bo Smith with another stop. There's Mike Archer. We talked about this defense has held opponents under 30 points in their last 6 games. First time since 1993.
Dave, the scheme that he had against Florida, I thought was the best scheme that I have seen in a long while. Very confusing to Florida. He's a very intense coach.
Boy, Aaron Lumpkin, number 87, a tight end, just hobbled off the field for Mississippi State. Yet another injury for the Bulldogs. 3rd and 2. Man. Lofts it up to Nick Turner. Turner being chased by a lot of blue jerseys at the 40. He will go down. Antoine Huffman makes the stop, and that'll bring up a 4th down. Are you in go range at this point, Dave?
Well, I think you're in go range. Chad Anderson, number 55, read this right away. This is a screen. You let the lineman in, then you just kind of just feed it off. Chad Anderson, that area is 55. He runs it to the outside. Good upcome there. Huffman, number 36, comes up from his corner spot. Cut it in. You had Anderson from the backside. If it's me, I'd go for it, but I don't know about Jackie Sherrill.
Let's check in with Buzz.
Interesting the way the State's running the ball. We haven't seen Jarius Norwood since that big touchdown run.
And it looks like they probably could use Jarius as they punt it away on this possession. Jared Cook sends it out of bounds. Oh, my goodness. As he had 2 brilliant punts today. This one goes out of bounds inside the 1.
That gets a wow. That is a perfect Cook. Cook was perfect to the kick. You kick to the corner, try to get as much yardage as you can. Watch where this ball goes out of bounds. Right there. How about Cook? I'll bet he enjoyed it. Wow. Look at this. Kickers can get excited, can't they?
Field judge Gerald Hodge had a perfect view of that. It sailed right, came down right on his foot.
Well, Jackie Sherrill's a great technician at punting games, at kick games.
Lorenzen back in under center will just run a quarterback sneak and take that 270, 280, 290. We're not quite sure how big Jared is right now.
Well, I don't like that play, I'll be honest with you. It's a 1-yard play. It doesn't really change your situation. I think that you come there and throw it a couple times. Maybe do a little play fake action, come back in there and just try to throw a quick one. Find somebody cutting across the middle. Maybe get your tight end on a drive off the line. But I'm not sure that Rich Brooks likes that either.
For the best deals on cars, trucks, and SUVs, visit your local Toyota dealer today. Second down and 10. Lorenzen might have gotten a half a yard on that last sneak. This time he will throw out of the end zone. Hit from behind, ball is loose. They will say it's an incomplete pass. Rocky Good, the referee, says incomplete. His arm was moving forward. Tommy Kelly thought he had the sack.
Well, I thought he did too. This was going to be an out and up. It was going to be a fake pump right there. That's a pump. Now, is his arm coming forward? Wow, that is really close. Again, watch his arm. Is it going forward? That's the pump. That was the out and up. Boy, I'll tell you, he had started his motion. He started his throwing motion. The official said he never doubted. You see the official saying never doubted it. Boy, that was close.
High formation for Lorenzen now on 3rd and 10. Handoff to the fullback Johnson, and that'll just give Kentucky room to punt it. But I think that was a pretty good call by Rocky Good back there. He had the best view of it.
Well, he did have a good view, and you know you want to give the benefit to the offense on the play. But I know Rich Brooks has got to be upset. I mean,
why do you want to give the benefit to the offense?
Well, you give the benefit to the offense because it doesn't hurt you if well, I have a reason for saying it doesn't hurt you really. I mean, if you're wrong, you give the benefit to the offense. They still held him down here. They're going to get the ball back.
There you go.
All right.
There you go.
Thank you, my friend.
That works for me. There's a defense out there that wouldn't necessarily agree with you.
And I played defense.
Right, that's what they asked. Omar Connor dancing around to the 46-yard line. And this Mississippi State defense today, Dave, has been pretty impressive.
Boy, it has been on the run. That was Jason there. He came up, then pressure right there. You see pressure by number 55. Now more pressure. They just have gotten in the pocket. They've been all over, regardless of who's been playing quarterback. And it's been a lot of 3 and out. This was the real pressure right here. Man, oh man, Tommy Kelly coming from that backside, just putting a lot of heat on him.
There is Aaron Lumpkin walking off the tight end, another banged-up player for this Jackie Sherrill-led team. Already Justin Jenkins is in the locker room. They've lost cornerback Quentin Culberson as well. They've lost left guard Will Rogers. Pass is caught by McKinley Scott. He's dropped about a yard shy of the first down. It's amazing how many injuries we've seen today.
Oh, we have seen a lot of injuries. This was an interesting play because McKinley Scott's right on the sideline. When he comes down, a lot of people would step out of bounds. He's right to the left of your screen. Now, a lot of people would step out of bounds right there. He doesn't. He comes back in.
Illegal formation against the offense. Only 6 men on the line of scrimmage. The penalty is 5 yards from the previous spot. We'll repeat, first down.
Let's check in with Buzz on an injury update.
Long list, Dave. I'll try to get through it as quick as I can. Aaron Lumpkin just went off on crutches. They're going to x-ray his right ankle. Over on the bench, Will Rogers, the left guard. They're icing his left ankle and left knee. Justin Jenkins back in the locker room. His injury not as serious. He sustained a cut on his upper right arm. They're stitching him up, and he'll be back.
Boy, Buzz, you're going to get some overtime pay today. Pass is caught on the far side, spinning around, dancing around is Omar Connor, the freshman out of Macon, Mississippi. That'll pick up about 5 or 6 on the play. For the best deals on cars, trucks, and SUVs, visit your local Toyota dealer today. Omar Connor, young man, in his high school career. We mentioned it briefly, almost 10,000 passing yards. He had 110 touchdown passes in his high school career. He was Mr. Football in the state of Mississippi.
Yeah, I wonder why. Man, with those stats, that's incredible.
110 touchdown passes. Wow. Here's Turner. Run out of bounds at the 45-yard line. He'll be a couple of yards shy of the first down, and that'll make it third down for this Bulldog offense.
Boy, how about Turner? Stiff arm, just pushed two people right down. Got to tackle through that stiff arm. If he gets that stiff arm, you tackle it. Boy, Kentucky's going to have a lot of things to correct at halftime, Dave. They've played the entire game. It's been played, just seems like the whole game's been played in their territory.
Yeah, this defense has been on the football field a long time. Mike Archer's guys certainly have seen a lot of action, majority of it on their side of the field. Fan to throw, lost it up, looking for his tight end, Tommy Farrell, but just out of his reach. And that'll make it a punting situation for the Bulldogs.
Boy, and he had Farrell on that little drag to the flat. He had him. All he had to do was just lay it in there. He tried to. He came out here. There's Farrell coming across right in here. And look at that, right off the fingertips. Nice pass again. He had him wide open. Just needed to lay it, just take a little bit off of it. Boy, can he have a better punt than he did last time, the last two times?
He's been outstanding. This time he'll angle for the right side. And where did this sail out of bounds? Let's see where they mark it. They will mark it at the 11-yard line. Another good punt from Jared Cook. Jared Cook thought it should have gone out inside the 5. The way he's punting, I have to believe Jared. 17-0 Mississippi State.
Well, it's time for the Aaron's Holiday Sale. Which one is it this time? Is it Easter? Thanksgiving? Halloween? Ooh. Valentine's Day? President's Day? Yes, sir. All right, Arbor Day. Arbor Day. What is Arbor Day?
During the Aaron's Halloween sale, prices are so low it's scary, and you're pre-approved on everything, like this high-definition widescreen projection TV monitor.
Guess they wanted to cover all the holidays at once. I'd say this about does it.
Beautiful, isn't it? Hi, I'm Richard Karn, asking you to join me in helping to protect the environment by recycling your old rechargeable batteries.
The cell phone that brings help when you need it most. Laptop computers that let you work anywhere. And cordless power tools. All get their power from rechargeable batteries.
But rechargeable batteries don't last forever. So when it's time for a new one, please recycle the old one. Call me at 1-800-8-BATTERY or visit our website, the collection site nearest you.
I offered you protection. You refused me. Well, look at you now.
Yeah, I know.
Boy, show him the trunk. No!
If you want protection, you want the Prestone family and the convenience of topping off with Prestone Quick Fill.
It's funny how top him off sounds like knock him off. Not that funny.
Prestone protection, inside and out.
Experience Toyota's full line of quality 2004 SUVs. From RAV4 to Land Cruiser, your Toyota dealers got an SUV for everyone and every budget. It's time to trade up. See your Toyota dealer now.
SEC football is brought to you by Toyota. 17-0. Kentucky 5 first downs this afternoon. Lorenzen at quarterback hits Abney with it behind the line of scrimmage. And Derek will get out over the 10. Darren Williams, a sophomore out of Clarksdale, Mississippi, makes the stop for the Bulldogs. Let's go down to Dave Baker with our Alltel sideline connection.
Dave, no surprise, Kentucky's been struggling with his field position all day, and that's the way Jackie Sherrill likes it. Ever since he's been at State, and well before that, he's taken a keen interest in the kicking game. He's always got that stopwatch with him. And this weekend, they're having the 20th anniversary of that 12th man squad that he introduced and was so successful with at Texas A&M.
So that 12th man certainly brought a lot of excitement to Texas A&M in the Southwest Conference. Here's Lorenzen over the middle. Nice catch. Derek Abney. Been quiet most of the afternoon.
And Abney is one of those guys who can really warm up in a hurry. He's just going to come across the middle here, and watch this catch behind him. Watch him reach behind him. Outstanding catch right there. Maybe that's the spark they need. Again, reach behind you, catch it. And I saw Jared Lorenzen, when they were getting ready to go out there, he was flat out gnawing on his offense.
Total yards allowed. Lorenzen. Hit. Bounces off, and Rock Johnson can't make the grab.
Lorenzen buying a lot of time coming out of the pocket. He's going to roll to his weak side. He likes going left. He's going to come out here, miss tackles. Right in there. You don't bump him down. That's Tommy Kelly. You're supposed to run and tackle him. You don't bump the big man down. You tackle him. And he almost came up with a big play to Rock Johnson if he had caught that. Boy, Tommy Kelly will hear about that one.
This Mississippi State defense ranked 112th out of 117 teams in the NCAA. Today, they're looking like the top-ranked defense. Well, there's a mistake, and there's a big first down catch by Chris Bernard down to the 42-yard line. The first meltdown defensively by the Bulldogs today.
Well, that caution guy said that Jared Lorenzen had before they went out may have paid off because he had a lot of time. He's going to come drive off the ball. Now kick to the outside. And look, he's all alone out there. A lot of room out there when he makes that catch. Looking downfield, but Lorenzen just was gnawing on his offensive lineman, and that's the best that they've moved this football in the first half.
Fresh set of downs for the Wildcats. Lorenzen fires a bullet that's tipped by linebacker Jason Clark. Clark has 5 career interceptions.
Boy, an uncharacteristic of Jared Lorenzen. Locking in on a receiver. Look at him. He's looking this way. The ball, as it comes off, you're going to see Jason Clark right there. He's reading the eyes of the quarterback. Lorenzen just locking on his wide receiver, not looking him off. And Jason Clark reacting to the football.
He is the, I don't want to say the smartest defensive player, because there are a lot of guys out there that understand the concept of Ron Cooper's defense, but certainly Jason Clark is a leader in a lot of different ways for that group. Lorenzen, his pass caught by Shane Boyd. Boyd inside the 35 to the 34-yard line.
A lot of time left in this quarter to get a score, get in the scoring position. Boyd is he's just coming off the line. It's almost a lateral now. Just get out there, make some yards, get the first down if you can, but move the chains, get up there. They're finally getting some offense, and it's because of Shane Boyd. Throw the ball to him again. Now they bring him off the sideline, though.
They go back to a 2 tight end set on 3rd down and 2.
I'm sorry, Dave. I was just going to say it's almost a sure rundown to try and get that first down.
Here's Beach. Has some blockers. But Mississippi State converges in a hurry. Tackle made. Marvin Birdsong, Darren Williams.
Well, you have to know where this first down marker is. And you sometimes just got to put your head down and run through it to get that first down. That's tough running. A little missed block right there. Rock Johnson, you got to get him down. You see the way Rock Johnson lost his feet? You got to run through on that block. Don't just run up to him and throw your body.
There's Marvin Birdsong, who out of high school was considered one of the best linebackers in America out of Long Beach, Texas. You can see why. He's got great closing speed. Here's the pitch to Drake Davis. A little speedster. Gets a couple on the play. Eric Fuller runs him out of bounds with 1:46 to go here in the second quarter. A 17-0 Mississippi State onslaught. And it is a quiet afternoon here at Commonwealth Stadium.
Well, nothing would juice this crowd up like a score right here. They really need 7, but you've got to have some points. Your offense has been 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. Your defense has been on the field the whole time.
Dave, I don't even know if a score gets this crowd. I think it needs more than that to get this bunch. They're a little disappointed, to say the least.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kentucky has 1 timeout remaining, and they will use it right there as the play clock was closing in on 0. Lorenzen has to take a timeout. That's not the first time they've had to burn a timeout because the play clock was running out. Hey, fans, now is your chance to enter the Toyota Tundra Double Cab You Pick'em football contest. Just go online at jpsports.com, click on the Toyota banner to register, and pick the winners. Weekly prizes will be given to the participant with the highest point total. At season's end, a randomly picked grand prize winner to be revealed on December 8th will receive a new 2004 Toyota Tundra 4-door D-cab truck. The Toyota You Pick'em football contest. But not an uncommon thing here with Kentucky burning some timeouts.
No, they've had some problems in the first half, Dave, and clock management has been one of their biggest. If you remember early in the first quarter, they had to burn a timeout because of the fact the play clock was getting ready to run down. And then right before the field goal attempt, they had to use another timeout. They had 12 men on the field. If they don't call it there, State's got it 1st and goal at the 5, and maybe this 17-0 lead is even bigger. And that one right there is not one you want to use, especially when you're driving to try to get a score on the board. Who knows? You may have a complete pass over the middle. You might need that timeout to perhaps have a field goal attempt later on in this drive, but certainly clock management has not been good in this first 30 minutes.
Yeah, first down here obviously will stop the clock, but after that, they're going to have to find a way to get out of bounds.
Yeah, Rod Hudson's right there trying to come up with an idea, a thought.
5 wide receivers. Pump fake. Lorenzen scrambling over the middle. Has Boyd. There's a first down. Then some. Boyd down inside the 10. Run out of bounds at the 7. Eric Fuller tripped him up, but what a beautifully designed play and executed extremely well by the Wildcats.
Well, he's a great quarterback, but he's a great receiver, too. Come off the line, just come off there, just be off a little bit on a crossing pattern. Now, look at the lineman downfield getting some blocks. Now just make it get out of bounds, move the clock, do anything. But he picks up nice yardage, gets him in field position. Now they've got enough time. Minute 30 left.
21-yard pickup. Now they're looking at 1st and goal from the 7. Clock ticks. 122. 121. Lorenzen will run the little short option near side, gets stuck at the line of scrimmage. Nothing happening with that little option play today for the Wildcats.
Now you got to hurry. You got to get back up there. The clock's running.
Willie Evans read it extremely well, number 36.
This didn't have a chance. You got 3 defenders out there. Now look how slow they are coming up here. They're huddling up. They need to get up on the ball.
52, 51. No timeouts for the Wildcats. High formation. And a touchdown, Kentucky. It'll be Rock Johnson, his first of the season. Antonio Hall. And that offensive line let the sophomore from Cleveland, Ohio, cross the plane.
Well, it was right up the middle, and it's the play I was telling you that just so bothers you as a defensive lineman. And how about these offensive linemen? Think they're not pumped? They've been 3 and out. They haven't done anything, and all of a sudden they score and get some momentum back in this football game. Now all of a sudden they're only down. They're going to be down by 10 if they make the extra point.
Taylor Begley into attempt the point after. Up and good. So Kentucky inside the red zone continues their success. They're 2nd in the Southeastern Conference, scoring 91% of the time, but most importantly, that's their 20th touchdown in 23 opportunities inside the red zone. There is Ronald Johnson, 6 foot, 245 pounds. Well, coming up Saturday at 12:30 Eastern, 11:30 Central, it's more SEC football. South Carolina invades Ole Miss. The Rebels are looking for their first ever SEC West title. Eli Manning leads an explosive air attack while a trio of running backs powers the ground game. While South Carolina comes to Oxford with one of the best defenses in the nation, led by senior linebacker Jeremiah Garrison. Ole Miss and South Carolina will battle it out right here on JP Sports. Don't miss it. 12:30 Eastern, 11:30 Central. Vanderbilt tonight taking on South Carolina at 7 o'clock. Arkansas and Ole Miss, 7:15 from the Grove. And this West is really wide open. Auburn playing probably better than anybody right now. But after that, you got LSU, Arkansas, Ole Miss, all teams that are right in the thick of it.
Absolutely. And we saw Eli Manning a couple weeks ago, and he was incredible. I mean, he did everything that you could ask him to do.
Well, I think the fact that Ole Miss has found a running game for the first time really in 3 years, maybe.
Yeah, we talked about running with an attitude. They sure had an attitude.
Look here. Kickoff sails into the end zone. That's a nice kickoff. Fred Reed. The Jiffy Lube well-oiled machine scoring drive was that last Kentucky drive. 11 plays, 89 yards, ate up 4 minutes and 17 seconds. And that was the first time Kentucky had put anything together offensively. And they did a nice combination run pass.
Really did use Shane Boyd. He really was a spark on that. Got him down there in field position. How about Rock Johnson? That was a great run. That was quite a different call. I didn't expect that. No timeouts. You don't expect a 7-yard run right up the middle.
So Mississippi State with 38 seconds left. Well, just let the clock run out. Kentucky can't stop it with no timeouts. Coming up at halftime, the Wildcats will honor their 1950 team that was, after the computers got involved, it was determined in the Sagarin ratings that they were the #1 team in America.
Absolutely.
Beat Oklahoma in their bowl game. Babe Parilli was the leader, the All-American, the quarterback of that club. Bob Gain, the Outland Trophy winner, on hand today as well. And that team lost to Tennessee in the last regular season game, 7-0, and that's when the polls came out before the bowl games were done. So they were ranked 7th, went to go play Oklahoma in the bowl game, and snapped the Sooners' 31-game winning streak. And today, the fans here are going to honor that club as a national championship team. Well, Kentucky would love to play like they did in 1950. Right now, they trail by 10, 17-7 to Mississippi State, a team that came in 2-5, 1-2 in league play. The Wildcats still searching for their first SEC win. Let's check in with Dave Baker.
Jackie, except for that last drive, you got to be awfully happy with the way your team played the first half.
Well, we did. We kind of gave them the last one. You know, we just didn't put any pressure. We didn't contain. We didn't cover 7. So, you know, but it really started when we had the penalty of not being on the line of scrimmage because we, got it down to 2nd and 3 then.
As well as you're playing, though, a bunch of injuries on your side.
Yeah, we kind of short in offensive linemen right now.
Right. Best of luck, Jackie. Jackie Sherrill heads to the locker room. His Mississippi State Bulldogs on the road and with the lead, 17-7 here in Lexington. We're back with more right after this.
SEC football is brought to you by Sonic Drive-In, by Bell South, by Taco Bell, by Yamaha, by Michelin, by Prestone, and by Napa Auto Care Center.
Action! Remember, when you hit the water, I need you to hydroplane out of control. Water! Remember, out of control. Cut! No, cut! Cut. Okay, fire the stunt driver.
The new Michelin Hydro Edge with patented hydro chutes is our best performing tire in its class. Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires.
The art major at State, the architect major at the university, the accountant at grad school. As diverse as they are, they all have 2 things in common: the Southeastern Conference and Regions Bank. For thousands of students and their families throughout the SEC, Regions Bank offers the financial strength to do more. With over 680 locations, a commitment to customer service, and the investment strategy of a true industry leader. Regions Bank and the SEC, partners in excellence.
Chick-fil-A has always been committed to helping people achieve their goals in life. One way Chick-fil-A accomplishes this is by providing scholarships, helping students in their quest for higher education. In fact, Chick-fil-A has awarded over $750,000 in scholarships to support students attending Southeastern Conference schools. The SEC is also committed to helping people achieve their goals, and that is why Chick-fil-A is proud to be an official partner with the Southeastern Conference.
When Yamaha set out to build the world's ultimate off-road vehicle, it had to have the greatest ground clearance. Jack. Independent front and rear suspension.
Jack!
Toughness.
He's tough.
And of course, seating for two. The all-new Rhino 660 four-wheel drive from Yamaha. It's a whole new breed of off-road vehicle.
The SEC Education Initiative has reached over 1 million children and has positively impacted the teacher's role in building academic skills.
Out of all the programs on our computer, what's your favorite one? KidStudy.
It reaches the children that are really hard to reach.
And they learn, and they're not really realizing they're learning.
It's incredible to see the enthusiasm that they have. The Universities of the Southeastern Conference, equipping tomorrow's leaders today.
BC Powder presents the Pass Play of the Week. Last week, Ole Miss went to work early in the first quarter. On their second possession of the game, Eli Manning wasted no time with a perfect pass to Tay Biddle in the end zone for the touchdown. The senior was able to hit Biddle in stride as the Rebels went on to beat Alabama 43-28. And that's our BC Powder Pass Play of the Week.
17-7 is our halftime score. The Commonwealth Stadium faithful have not had a lot to cheer about, but that last drive was something that got them off their tails and out of their seats as the Cats put together an 11-play, 89-yard drive. It took just over 4 minutes as they get on the scoreboard, but still, they trail Mississippi State by a count of 17-7. Dave Baker back here with you at the half. And folks, how about let's take a look now at our Think Outside the Bun Call of the Week, and it's presented by our friends at Taco Bell. And Florida's freshman standout quarterback Chris Leak was thinking outside the bun against Arkansas last Saturday. Leak and a cast of talented receivers expected to make the 2nd and 13 situation vanish easily. Instead of going to one of his regulars, Leak rolls out, calls the screen pass. He does that option to Seatric Faison, who takes care of the rest. 33 yards for the score as Faison goes down the far side. Nice call. 33-28, Gators win in Fayetteville, and that's our Think Outside the Bun Call of the Week presented by Taco Bell. It's a good game. Mississippi State has come out. They pounded the ball. They took it in between the tackles like Jackie Sherrill told us that they had to do. They have suffered a lot of injuries. We'll have the very latest on that, and if they can overcome that, they feel like they've got a chance to get their first road win in the Southeastern Conference in over 2 years. Kentucky's honoring some greats here at Commonwealth Stadium. We got more coming back right after this.
This moment in Southeastern Conference history is brought to you by Citco. We know you. I am third at Mississippi State in career receiving yards with 2,022. An all-SEC wide receiver in 1994 and 1995. I am fifth in SEC history for catches in a game with 15. You know me?
Good gas, good neighbors. Citgo, we know you.
The Nissan Pathfinder has a lot of fans. They like the roominess, the cargo capacity, and the strong 240 horsepower engine. Now get 0.9% financing or $2,000 cash back on every new Pathfinder. So move your tail. Gate, the Nissan Pathfinder, 0.9 or $2,000 cash.
I'm going to have a breakfast toaster sandwich with ham.
Are you talking about the sourdough breakfast?
Sonic has them on this Texas toast.
We have the regular bun, the sesame, or the sourdough.
But Sonic has these Texas toaster ones. That's not...
Okay, this isn't Sonic, this is...
Thick Texas toast. Sonic's got it, others don't. Breakfast at Sonic featuring our delicious new Breakfast Club Toaster Sandwich made with ham, egg, cheese, tomato, and bacon. Have a good morning.
So our wireless network, it works here? Yes. Here? Yes. Here? No.
No? Yes.
No.
Yes. Yes.
It's no.
Do you want some of this?
Let's rumble.
Let's go to
Karen, you're the customer. Surely this is enough network for you, yes?
No.
Do we think alike or what? You want wireless coverage wherever you go. So at Alltel, we're expanding our digital network by over 150,000 square miles. Better digital coverage?
You got that right.
Alltel. That's former Mississippi State wide receiver Eric Moles. Moles' 15 catches against Tennessee in 1995 are the most in any game in school history. Moles also holds the school touchdown reception record with 17. This moment in Southeastern Conference history has been brought to you by Citgo. We know you. The Rechargeable Battery Recycling Corporation, RBRC.org, presents the SEC Good Works team, recognizing superior community service efforts by league football players. Today's honoree is senior split end Justin Jenkins from Mississippi State University. Justin is a 2-year member of the Bullies Book Blitz. He also is a mentor at 2 local schools, helping kids with social and personal issues, and a volunteer at the Boys and Girls Club. RBRC.org is proud to salute Justin Jenkins for being named a member of the SEC Good Works team.
17-7 Mississippi State on top of Kentucky here at the half at Commonwealth Stadium. You know, the folks around here say that perhaps the greatest Kentucky team ever was the 1950 Kentucky Wildcats. You know, they played, and they were actually ranked 7th in the country, but then at the end of the season, Oklahoma was ranked number 1 in the final rankings. Well, Paul Bear Bryant convinced his Kentucky team to go ahead and play a postseason game. They beat Oklahoma in the Sugar Bowl 13-7, snapping the Sooners' 31-game winning streak. There's Allen Trophy winner Bob Game, who won the 1950 Allen Trophy, and Jeff Sagarin, the guy who's been analyzing games by computer since 1982, awarded Kentucky that national championship because it wasn't in the official NCAA record book. The NCAA then added it. So today, the 1950 national champions honored. All right, let's take a look at the Advanced Auto Parts SEC Championship standings. And here you take a look at the East. Georgia with UAB today going out of conference. Florida making a nice comeback after they made that big comeback here. Tennessee, South Carolina. And then we go to the West. Auburn, as Dave Neal mentioned, I believe they're playing the best football in the West right now. But Ole Miss and LSU lurking. A big one coming up tonight as LSU takes on Auburn. And another big one next week. Coming up Saturday at 12:30 Eastern, 11:30 Central. We travel down to Oxford as South Carolina takes on Ole Miss. Lou Holtz's Gamecocks are looking to stop the Manning Express as Eli and the Rebels are still in the hunt for an SEC West title. And folks, do not forget, before we get going, Cooper Tire's SEC Football Today precedes our game coverage. Next week, we'll check in with 1959 Heisman Trophy winner Billy Cannon and relive his famous midnight run on Halloween night more than 40 years ago. And you know what else? We'll head to Georgia to see the tradition of walk-on fullbacks who played a big part in the Bulldogs' big success. That's all coming up next Saturday. Be sure to join us. That's noon Eastern, 11 o'clock Central for the show, followed by the game a half hour later. The Cats trailing the Bulldogs 17-7 here in Lexington. We're back after this word from our local stations.
Thanks to MEA, school systems statewide are learning the importance of drug testing and achieving and maintaining a healthy, productive scholastic environment. A drug testing leader for nearly 20 years, MEA Drug Testing Consortium can help your school with policy development. As your systems testing source, MEA can conduct on-site question and answer forums for parents and staff. A network of SAMHSA-approved collection sites statewide ensures prompt, timely test results. MEA, setting the standard for drug testing in Mississippi schools.
Prices just keep falling at Howard Muskelly Furniture. And take not 1, but 2 years interest-free. Dining room, a $500 value, now $294. Cherry bedrooms falling to $462. Sway sofa and recliner falling to $788. Plush queen-size mattress sets, $285. Bunk beds, now $222. Bombay chest, just $333. And take 24 months interest-free. Hurry to Howard's now. These deals won't last long. Howard Muskelly Furniture saves you money.
There are cubicles and non-cubicles.
You've reached the workspace of Samuel S. Smithers, executive at large.
So if you want a work area that creates a dynamic environment to meet your needs, you want Hayworth furniture systems that fit you, your personality, the way you work. So why settle for a cubicle when you could have a Hayworth furniture system from Business Interiors?
Oh.
Try as they might, they still can't catch us. The GMC Sierra. Get a Sierra 1500 extended cab available with a pro-grade power pack, including a 5.3-liter V8, XM radio, and more, and get a $2,000 discount. Add the discounted cash back for a total value of $4,500. See your Mid-Mississippi GMC dealers.
Crystal presents the Sack of the Week. Last week, the Auburn defense lived up to their billing and terrorized the Mississippi State offense. The Tigers had 5 big sacks, which spelled big losses for the Bulldogs, including this takedown from Auburn standout Carlos Dansby in a 45-13 win over Mississippi State. And that's our Sack of the Week, presented by Crystal.
Turn this way. And welcome back to Commonwealth Stadium in Lexington. Mississippi State on top of Kentucky by a count of 17-7. Folks, get the Yahoo Sports College Pack for just $9.95 a month, $59.95 a year. The pack includes more than 50 JP Sports SEC football and basketball telecasts, plus thousands of live audio broadcasts from nearly 100 universities nationwide. Follow your favorite teams from anywhere with the College Pack from Yahoo Sports. So this is the time of year here in the Bluegrass when the ladybugs are all over the place. You're not supposed to knock them off because they're good luck. And obviously some have fallen upon the Mississippi State Bulldogs. Dave Neal and Dave Rose, we get set to go with the second half of play. This is an offense that did not come in here with a lot of hype surrounding it, and they're not flashy, but boy, have they been effective the first half.
Yeah, Bud, you're exactly right. One of the problems with Mississippi State has been that they fall behind in the first quarter and the second quarter. Their defense has given up 149 first-half points this year, but today the offense has had time to do what they wanted to do and be balanced.
Yeah, they came out and established a run right away, and their first halftime highlights, they start off with a pass to Connor, which went all the way down inside the 5. Then they come back and they find Bivens misses it. That held them to a field goal. Then Norwood, with that bad foot, runs the length of the field for a touchdown. Lorenzen, he just had a problem all the first half with that fumble. Then MSU threw that touchdown pass again. Bivens makes up for it. Boyd gets a long run. This is what really sparked Kentucky. Boyd came in, got that long run down deep in the territory, and then Johnson, Rock Johnson, with that touchdown run. That's what has kept them in this football game, Dave.
Well, our Hyundai halftime stats look like this. Total yards for Kentucky, 141, but they picked up 80 of that on the final drive before halftime on their score. But really, other than that drive, Mississippi State completely dominated this game.
Absolutely. Won the line of scrimmage, just stuffed them on every play. That last drive is the only thing that kept them in this football game.
Well, when you look at what they did last week against Ohio, Dave, just a second. I'll get to that in just a second. We must say, in support of Hyundai's ongoing commitment to education, Hyundai Motor America is pleased to contribute to the SEC General Scholarship Fund the amount of $1,000 to be distributed equally among the member institutions. I got so excited about my question, I forgot
I hear you, buddy.
Say thanks to our folks at Hyundai. But last week against Ohio, Kentucky went with a 2-quarterback deal. They brought in Shane Boyd after Jared Lorenzen couldn't get anything going offensively. They did that this time, but it didn't work. So if you're Rich Brooks, now where do you go?
Well, I think you go back and try to use Boyd more. I think you keep a close eye on Jared Lorenzen. He doesn't have the spark that he usually has. He usually takes his team down the field. If you can get that spark out of Boyd, I think you go to him.
We will see. Our Toyota keys to the second half, and this is what you think will probably need to take place if Mississippi State wants to win
Well, they've had field position, Dave. They have had incredible field positions, both starting and keeping up with that field position. For Kentucky, take the pressure off the defense. Their defense is playing out on the field the entire time.
Well, Kentucky still not quite talking about a bowl game. They'll need this if they do want to go to some postseason. Jared Lorenzen and company back on the field. Second half is just around the corner.
We're ready in advance, no matter when or where.
There's nothing worse than being ready to go and your car won't. So we're ready in advance. Ready with the right equipment, the right people, and the right parts. All at ready to go, low prices. And if it's your battery, we'll install it for free. So bring it on. We're ready in advance.
For the best part, people that drive, we're ready in advance. Yeah, bring it on.
Get a free gallon of iced tea when you purchase any Nuggets party tray at Chick-fil-A. Offer expires December 31st.
When Yamaha set out to build the world's ultimate off-road vehicle, it had to have the greatest ground clearance.
Jack.
Independent front and rear suspension.
Jack.
Toughness.
He's tough.
And of course, seating for two. The all-new Rhino 660 four-wheel drive from Yamaha. It's a whole new breed of off-road vehicle.
Regions Bank presents this week's SEC Salute to Small Business. As a student-athlete, Bob Reed used his skills to help Mississippi State achieve success on the baseball diamond. As a businessman, he uses his skills to help his company, Bob Reed Builder, achieve success in the field of home building. This week's SEC Salute to Business is brought to you by Regions Bank, rated #1 in friendliness to small businesses by the SBA. Click Regions.com. Regions Bank, official bank of the SEC Championship.
Try as they might to give you everything, some companies still only offer half of what you need. Only we bring you exactly what you need at new lower prices you're going to like. Bell South answers. You can even save up to $350 a year because we have more ways to bundle unlimited long distance and local with everything else on one bill. Oh, and those guys that only offer you half, it doesn't apply to the price. Bell South. Listening, answering.
SEC football is being brought to you by Chick-fil-A, by Citgo, by Crystal, and by Advance Auto Parts.
We are back in Lexington, Kentucky. It's 17-7, Mississippi State over the Wildcats. Dave Baker just moments ago caught up with Kentucky coach Rich Brooks.
Rich, some big-time bad field position in the first half, but you were able to turn it around there with a nice drive at the end of the half.
Well, we needed that badly, get ourselves in position to try to get back into this football game. Now we need to do something with it on the first possession of the third quarter.
All right, thanks, Coach. Best of luck. That's Rich Brooks, Dave.
Well, this Kentucky team trying to find a spark offensively. Here's our starting quarterbacks comparison. Dave, what do you think?
Well, I think it's misleading because Mississippi State has had such success on the ground. That's not normal yards for Jared Lorenzen either. 8 of 13, no touchdowns. They've thrown it. Other than that last drive, they really have not moved the football well at all.
Well, twice this year, Mississippi State has led at halftime, and twice this year they have gone on to win those football games. We'll see if the third time is a charm for Jackie Sherrill's bunch. Not many football games left for the coach of 26 years. Abby drops it on the tee in the end zone, takes the knee, And perhaps the best bright spot for Kentucky, Dave, was right at the end of the half.
Absolutely. They threw that long one to Bernard out there, and he made big yardage. Then they came back with beats. They had to have that first down. He put his head down and made it. Then Boyd gave him a spark coming across the middle and got down in good field position. And then the surprise one. I was really surprised. No timeout. You're on the 8-yard line, kicking down, and Rock Johnson ran it in for a score. That's what you needed.
Here is Shane Boyd and Jared Lorenzen. Two quarterbacks with different styles, to say the least. First play, a handoff to Beach, gets a couple of yards. And I must say this, when I landed here in Lexington yesterday morning, opened up the sports section in the newspaper, and the first headline is something about Lorenzen and Boyd, and there's Justin Jenkins, how they continue to battle it out. And Jared Lorenzen and Shane Boyd, folks, are roommates. And
I know.
They're friends, and there's no squabble between these two. And Jared Lorenzen basically was upset with all the internet chats about the two quarterbacks. And
very vocal about it. Very, very vocal.
That catch to the 25. That'll be about 5 yards shy.
Well, that's a simple little play there, but Lenny Day did a really good job on that. He came in, got a chance to start, and as soon as that pass was made, he just came right back to the line of scrimmage and tackled that underneath scoop play. I like his play. I think he's done a good job for Jackie Sherrill today.
Here's third down. Boy, this is a big third down, I believe, for this Kentucky offense.
Absolutely. You got a little spark just before half, Dave.
2 of 7 today. 5th in the league overall coming into today's contest. Here's a little shovel pass to Beach. Hit a couple of times and ball forward, but loses the football. Still on the ground, recovered by guess who? 22, Jared Lorenzen. How in the world did Lorenzen end up at the 42-yard line?
What a heads-up play. I mean, this is the heads-up play. And Lorenzen sold out on the play. Watch him after the play. He's run down there, and Lorenzen could quit back there. But he sees the ball, and he just sprints. There he comes in. Look at him diving on that ball. Just an outstanding play. Don't give up. Never expect the unexpected. And Lorenzen just comes into your screen on the right and dives on the football to keep this drive alive. That is good football player, Dave. That is good football play, I should say.
And a pretty good football player.
Yes, sir.
You don't throw for almost 10,000 yards in this league without being a pretty good player. Alexi Begingi with a big run right through the middle of that Mississippi State defense, and he made a few people pay for it.
Boy, what a nice hole up in the middle. They controlled the line of scrimmage up in the middle. It's just a little cross action, and right in there, you see locks in there. You get the big man coming around. Sylvester Miller on that little twist inside, and he got the block which sprung him.
Carries it to the 35-yard line. Alexi Begingi, a guy that didn't start today. Rock Johnson got the start, and it looks like now that Begingi's in here in the second half, and he saw Rock Johnson score a 10-yard touchdown to end the half, I think Begingi's trying to get back in the rotation.
Sometimes you don't have to say anything to a player. Sometimes you sit him down, and when the other player behind him responds well, it gets your attention. And Begingi certainly has responded.
Begingi out of Quebec, Canada. 215-pound sophomore, runs a lot bigger than that. Lorenzen has his man open at the 11-yard line. Keenan Burton first down, the true freshman out of Louisville, Kentucky, with his 9th reception of the year. Kevin Dockery on the cover.
Well, what Burton did was get separation. It's just a go pattern. Look at this. Just come down. He never looks off him. It just throws it high and allows Burton to run under it. Burton got good separation, used that speed, and got away from Dockery on the play.
Boy, another solid drive by the Wildcats.
Yeah, Rich Brooks was right what he told Dave Baker. He said this first drive is really important.
First and goal from the 6. Lorenzen checking off, play clock at 7. The throw to the corner of the end zone. Boy, that was read well by Dockery. His intended receiver was Burton, but Dockery made a beeline right for where the pass was. It just went over the outstretched fingertips of the defensive back.
If I'm Jared Lorenzen, I'm awfully happy I threw high on that play because Dockery was right there. Number 30 is going to come right into your screen. Look at him right there. If he stops right in there, if that ball's low, he's taking it the other way, Dave.
Yeah, nobody's going to catch Mr. Dockery.
No.
Sophomore out of Hernando, Mississippi. Has one interception to his credit this year. 3 receivers to the top of the screen on 2nd down and goal from the 6. And off to McGingy. He's down to the 1. And McGingy has quickly become the Kentucky Wildcats' leading rusher today. He's 3 carries for 27 yards.
That is just quickly. Look how quickly he started. I mean, you talk about getting the attention of a player. McGingy has just come in here with a passion to run this football. And all of a sudden, Rich Brooks is saying, hey, we got a running game.
He brings in Rock Johnson now, the 245-pound fullback, on 3rd and goal from the 1. High formation. Tailback is Arliss Beach. Here's Beach off the right side. Touchdown, Wildcats. Capping off an 80-yard drive to start the 2nd half. The 5th rushing TD for Arliss Beach.
It's just a great lead block, not trying to fool anybody. You take the fullback and just run him out there, and then just find a little seam, put your head down, protect the football. And again, just put your head down. You're not trying to get fancy down there. You're just trying to break that touchdown line, and they did. Outstanding drive. That's their best drive of the game by far.
Taylor Beckley in to attempt the point after. It's up. And it is good. And just like that, we've got ourselves a 3-point game. A different Kentucky football team than we saw in the first half.
12 crystals in 2 minutes. Bam!
It's really a turn on if you can see a guy have a whole stack full of crystals.
12's a light day.
And eat them all. Oh, it's that square shape. It's a nice rounded bun. It's true. Crystal diet gives me these. Woo! Yeah.
Stop the tape. Let's go get a crystal.
The car's all done, ma'am, and here's your record of everything we did.
So I guess you didn't charge me for washing my windows, vacuuming, and checking my tires?
No, ma'am.
Well, I do love a man in uniform, and I love little extras, Mr. Jiffy Man.
Ma'am, it's all part of our signature service oil change.
Oh, sure it is.
Great service, lots of little extras. No wonder people fall in love with the J-Team at Jiffy Lube, the well-oiled machine.
You know, Mac, when you gave me the first BC the first time, it created a relationship between us.
You're some kind of a rookie kid that got your brains kind of scrambled a little bit there.
And all I remember is you looking over me and say, here, kid, here's a BC. I think you pulled it out of your pocket. It was kind of blurry.
Got you back up a very short time. It worked fast.
You can go back out there and do your thing again. Been taking them ever since.
We've been friends now since 1978 and gone through a whole lot of BCs together, and hopefully one of these days you're going to buy some.
One phone company committed to the idea of quality. It's a spirit, it's a commitment, it's a spearmitment. What more could a customer want?
A guarantee would be nice.
Do we think alike or what? At Alltel, if you're not happy with our call quality, you can end your agreement within 15 days guaranteed.
Spearmitment.
A quality guarantee?
You got that right.
Alltel.
SEC football is brought to you in part by Hyundai. Clint Root to kick it off. Clint Jr. out of White House, Kentucky, back deep to receive. Nick Turner, Fred Reed. High kick sails down to the 6-yard line. That's where Fred Reed had it. Fred Reed to the 25 and dropped right there. Kentucky's defense They gave up 17 points, but, man, they were out in the football field a long time. And Sweet Pea Burns was very quiet.
Well, he's not had a good day. It's not been the day. But sometimes you just got to fight through it. Fought through hard. There he is, 98 blue, trying to make plays, trying to make things happen. He really is their spark on defense. Now, he's got a second half where he's going to have to react and get in there. But he's been stuck on the line. They've done a good job against him. You have to credit Mississippi State. No tackle. Oh, that's incredible.
Sweet Pea came in 43 tackles, 11.5 tackles for loss, 4th in the NCAA in that department. Flag down at the 25. Couple of flags down. Now there's another one, a late flag dropped at the 28. This is what Jackie Sherrill was talking about. You can't come out and shoot yourself in the foot.
Yeah, you just don't want to have that first down and 10, 12 extra yards. And they beat both against Mississippi State. I think one's holding. You saw the hand on the wrist there. Let's see what the other one is.
Rocky Good.
That's holding against Mississippi State. Dead ball, personal foul. Wow.
Boy, so that's going to be, they're going to march him back probably inside near the 10-yard line, perhaps, when it's all said and done.
I think I put my hands over my head, too, because that's a big one right there. The second foul was a dead ball foul.
On the play. First is holding on the offense. The second one is a dead ball, personal foul, also on the offense. We will administer both fouls. It will be first down.
Oh, the late hit right there on Brian Anderson, the tight end, the true freshman.
Yeah, he was just trying to get over there and do something a little bit extra, but that is a huge foul. A huge call. Now, if you're Kentucky, you're going to get field position. You should be able to hold them here. You've got a chance. Mississippi State enjoyed great field position in the first half.
Well, for the first time today, this crowd trying to make some noise. This could be one of the most imposing places to play when things are going well. Kevin Fan having to hear the noise. First and 28. Fan rolls right. Fires. Pass is caught by McKinley Scott. Gain of only a couple. On first and 28, you need more than 3.
Yeah, well, if you're a defense, you're happy with that. He slipped down, knees on the ground, caught the ball 2 or 3 yards. That's fine. Now you need to go downfield. If you're Mike Archer, you're saying, hey, we need 2 more of those, get the ball back for the offense. They've just run it 80 yards. And you need that man right there. He's the one that can get the defense going. That's Vincent Burns, Sweet Pea.
Well, this Kentucky defense, the second youngest in the Southeastern Conference, only behind Tennessee. Here's Fant out of the shotgun. Pressure coming. And Fant one-hops it to Jarius Norwood. He's back on the football field. Quarterback pressure came from Jeremy Caudle, that senior out of Martin, Kentucky. Sweet Pea Burns, a little enthusiasm as well.
Well, they got good pressure by Jeremy Caudle, 68. Sweet Pea reads it. He's going to read it right there and come back. But look at Caudle. He's just on a dead feed for Kevin Fant. Now, this is the big down here. Third down, you hold them. You should get the ball back in midfield.
Third and 24, Dave. Do you play it careful here?
I think you drop back, make a catch in front of you, come up and tackle them. Don't let them burn you.
Fant steps up, fires a bullet, has his man. That'll be McKinley Scott. He gets it out over the 30. They will spot it, where? At the 32-yard line, but that'll be about 4 yards shy of the first down. But MSU out of some trouble.
Well, Fant did a nice job. This is a really nice pass. The only problem was that it wasn't long enough. The route is a good route. It's a double out. What you do is you go out there, look at the ball. When he made the turn, right when he made the turn, the ball was there to Scott, number 1. That was just good coordination.
Jared Cook has punted well, extremely well today. He will try to keep it away from Derek Abney. He's done so pretty much all afternoon. This is another good kick. Abney has to backpedal to the 20-yard line, but he will be able to return it. Abney gets a couple of blocks. Abney sees a seam. Derek Abney to midfield. Derek Abney has 2 blockers and 1 man. Abney down to the 5. On his feet. Touchdown! Oh, my goodness!
was just an incredible return. We wondered whether he would kick to Derek Abney. He did, and he paid for it. Good block. There's Mike Williams got a good block down there. And Abney just puts his head down, and here it just looks like a fullback going in there. Just puts him in there.
Point after is up and good. Dave, you talked about following your blockers. Derek Abney got behind, actually grabbed his teammate's jersey, and just followed him right in. Willed it into the end zone, if you will. Boy, Kentucky needed a spark. They got it from Derek Abney.
Well, it's time for the Aaron's Holiday Sale. Which one is it this time? Is it Easter? Thanksgiving? Halloween? Ooh. Valentine's Day? President's Day? Yes, sir. All right, Arbor Day. Arbor Day. What is Arbor Day?
During the Aaron's Halloween sale, prices are so low it's scary, and you're pre-approved on everything, like this high-definition widescreen projection TV monitor.
Guess they wanted to cover all the holidays at once. I'd say this about does it.
We're ready in dance, no matter when or where. We're ready in dance, whatever is waiting there. Around these parts, trouble doesn't stand a chance. For the best part, people that's right. We're ready in dance. Yeah, bring it on.
Sandestin Golf and Beach Resort presents Golf by the Numbers. Sandestin has 72 great golf holes on 4 award-winning courses, designed by 3 world-renowned architects. Add to that 17 great restaurants, 3 fabulous night spots, 45 retail shops, and 323 days of sunshine each year. Put it all in one location, and you've got the best golf in Florida at the Sandestin Golf and Beach Resort.
In October of 1999, my wife was killed in an automobile accident by a drunk driver. Jim Hood prosecuted the case and got a guilty verdict. Jim Hood is not a plea bargainer. Jim is tough on crime, and he stands up for victims' rights.
Scott Newton, his attacks on Jim Hood, faulty, incorrect. Newton's record, he's never prosecuted a murder, rape, or drunk driving case. 0, not 1. Scott Newton, nothing but attacks.
Today's game is brought to you in part by GMC. Well, Derek Abney now has an SEC record of 5 punt returns for touchdowns. He has 8 total kick returns for TDs in his career, which ties the NCAA career record for total kick returns by Cliff Branch and Johnny Rogers. Branch of Colorado, Rogers of Nebraska, and he now has broken or tied 6 NCAA records, 9 SEC records, and 10 school records for kick returns.
Incredible. And what a joy to talk to him. Just a fun guy. Loves the game. Said he starts slow. 5th-year senior. Wow, he made them pay. They didn't kick away from him, and he made them pay.
It's really the first time he had a chance for a punt return today. This kickoff is out of the end zone. Derek Abney came in, had 225 all-purpose yards last year for Mississippi State, including 2 touchdowns on punt returns last season in Starkville.
This was incredible. He just put his head down here, and everybody just kind of got behind him, and they're just rolling him back in the end zone. Look at this, helping him almost. That's incredible. What a...
lot of his friends and family down from Wisconsin. Lynn's also caught a pass in 41 straight games. I mean, he isn't that big at 5'10", 175 pounds, but he certainly brings a big game. And there's a big loss by Mississippi State. Chad Anderson with the sack, along with Vincent Burns.
Dave, everybody knows that the offense sometimes can pump up the defense and vice versa. Number 55 is Chad Anderson. He comes in there untouched. They're going to get pressure on him. Credit Mike Archer. He's going to say, we're not going to let Kevin Smith back there and burn us.
Mike Archer said that he tried to make this, or actually he didn't try to, but the defense a little complicated early on. Just basically has simplified it this year for his guys. And they're playing hard for him. Darius Norwood out to the 20-yard line.
Now, really important if you're a Mississippi State fan, you calm down. You've just been burned, but you calm down, just get down there and just start running your offense, I should say.
Boy, Raymond Fontaine, Chad Anderson, both hobbling. A couple of linebackers. Buzz has more on that.
Yeah, he just got hit right, took a helmet right to that knee 2 plays ago. He tried to get out before that play, but the way he's playing, Mike Archer is hoping it's nothing serious.
4-man front for Mike Archer's defense. 3 receivers to the near side on 3rd and 9. Fant scrambling. Dropped at the 15. Lamar Mills with his 2nd sack of the season. Pressure came from Vincent Sweet Pea Burns.
When you get this opportunity, you got to come off the ball. 98 is Vincent Burns. Look at him in there working. 45 is Lamar Mills. He's working, just a freshman. And how about Chad Anderson? He's sitting over there. Look at this. You think he's not excited? He'll get well soon. Easy. I mean, it's amazing that Kentucky could play as bad as they did in the first half.
The flag is down, so the play has been blown dead, and Jared Cook got hammered.
Dead ball. Ball starts. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat. 4th down.
Cook may be hurt. He may have to go out, Dave.
Well, Robert Wallace is their next punter, and Robert's punted 26 times this year.
Oh, yeah, he got hit going up there and fell flat on his back.
And here is Robert Wallace, the senior out of Columbus, Mississippi, averaging 43.5 yards per kick. None have been blocked, as long as 56. But he is, you could say, new kicker today, but with 26 punts on the season.
Playing the drums during the offense.
Rocky Good saying the band must quit playing the drums while the offense has the football.
So what do? All the fans stamp their feet now. Listen to this drum beat.
A good kick by Wallace under severe pressure. Abney has another chance. Flag down, and Abney falls forward to the Mississippi State 45-yard line. Rocky Good will give us the call. Boy, talk about Robert Wallace. You're standing over there and watching a pretty good football game. The next thing you know, you got to come out there backed up in your end zone and punt for the first time. Here's Rocky Good.
During the run back, we have holding against the receiving team. The penalty will be 10 yards from the end of the run. It will be a 1st down.
The announcers for this game are selected and compensated by Jefferson Pilot Sports. This broadcast is a copyright presentation. Any use of this broadcast without the express permission of the Southeastern Conference and Jefferson Pilot Sports is prohibited. Dave Neal, Dave Rowe, Dave Buzz Baker. Glad you could join us from Commonwealth Stadium in Lexington, Kentucky. And it didn't look pretty early on. Mississippi State just manhandling Kentucky from the get-go. But in the last drive of the first half, and here in the 3rd quarter, Kentucky has found their way. Abney on a reverse. Pass the blockers. Derek Abney to the 40, to the 35, and that'll be a 1st down for the Big Blues. Good block for Jerry Lorenzen on that far side. And he comes up hobbling.
Lorenzen led the blocking on the play and stripped. He may have hurt his knee on that play. Lorenzen's going to pitch off now. He's going to run out there. This is the reverse. Let's watch Lorenzen. There he is right there. And he just gets rumbled over there.
How about that block?
That was a heck of a block. That's what you call a block. He just ran through him.
Jared down on the ground. Shane Boyd will come in to play quarterback. His 2nd stint at quarterback today. On 1st down, 10. Play clock at 1. And once again, Kentucky will have to call a timeout. We'll check on Jared Lorenzen when we come back after a word from your local stations.
Your vehicle ready for football game road trips at Big Ten Tires and Accessories. Buy 3, get 1 free on a huge selection of performance, passenger, and SUV tires. Keep your car injury-free with an alignment or service on your brakes, struts, and shocks. With deals like these, Big Ten Tires and Accessories continues to be the winning team for all your auto needs.
Tires, service, accessories, and parts. Big Ten, Street Smart. Big Ten, Street Smart.
We advocate those positions that we truly believe in. That's a direct quote from Washington lobbyist Haley Barbour. So what is it that Haley Barbour believes in? Washington lobbyist Haley Barbour helped Mexico steal Mississippi jobs, and tobacco companies poison our kids. And Washington lobbyist Haley Barbour worked for giant drug companies to stop prescription drug coverage for Mississippi seniors. Washington lobbyist Haley Barbour. Wrong for governor, wrong for Mississippi.
When you talk about important design features, the GMC Envoy can teach the imports a lesson. Because with a tighter turning radius and more horsepower than Honda Pilot, Toyota 4Runner, and Lexus RX 330, the Envoy is engineered to be in a class of its own. Now get $2,000 cash back, plus $1,000 bonus cash for $3,000 total cash back on a 2004 Envoy. Upgrade to professional grade. See the pros at your Mid-Mississippi GMC dealers.
Our score. Kentucky has rattled off 21 unanswered points. 6:24 to go here in the third quarter. Jared Lorenzen, we saw him leave the field and spent about 3 or 4 minutes on that bench after making a block downfield. Shane Boyd in at quarterback. We'll check with Dave Baker in just a moment to get the update. First down and 10 after the Kentucky timeout. Boyd, quarterback draw. And Boyd dragged down at the 26-yard line after a gain of 2, maybe 3. And let's check in with Buzz.
Bruised left thigh on Jared Lorenzen, Dave. It's kind of like one of those frog injuries. You know how you used to hit your little brother all the time? But the thing about it is that Rich Brooks has to be careful of an injury like that. He's up, looks like he's okay and ready to go now, but the longer you stay inactive, the stiffer that thing gets, and he's going to have a real tough time regardless of what he does today, tomorrow morning.
No, Buzz, I'm the younger brother. I'm the one that kept getting hit, by the way.
You were the receiver.
So I know exactly what you're talking about. 2nd and 4. Boyd, pump fake. Throws it way out of bounds. Actually had an opportunity. Kenyon Burton, number 19, was floating around the 15-yard line.
Oh, I saw that too, but Boyd just didn't have enough time to hold on to the football. If he could have found Keenan Burton. How about Lorenzen? He doesn't want to come out. He wants to come back in.
That is a lot of man.
Yes, it is. I'm going to tell you, that block downfield, man.
Well, he's had a couple of plays, Dave. He recovered that fumble about 15 yards downfield.
That was a huge one to keep that drive alive just before half.
157 yards for Jared. Remember, he's only had one 200-yard passing game all year, and that was in the opener. Here's Lorenzen, a little shovel pass to Gingy. That'll be a first down for the Wildcats. Gain of 9 on the play.
Oh, and Sylvester Miller, number 75, gets a great block on the play. He comes out, picks up right out there. Great block outside. McGinty sees it, cuts right off his tail, and picks up the first down. There's the big man.
Big Cat.
Big Cat.
Out of Glenwood, Illinois, Sylvester Big Cat Miller. First and 10. Alexi Begingi. Tackle made by Tommy Kelly. Tommy Kelly having a pretty good afternoon. 5 tackles, a sack, a forced fumble, a quarterback pressure.
Yeah, they have really been pleased with Kelly. As you mentioned, Dave, they said every week he gets better. He's just involved more in the game, starting to become really more comfortable with the position, just playing well.
Originally signed with Ole Miss, but made his way to Starkville. He'll always stir up the waters a little bit in the state of Mississippi when that happens, won't it?
Absolutely.
Second down and 9, and all kinds of movement. Pick a player, any player.
How about the center?
That was the problem. Nick Seitz didn't move. Everybody else did.
I think Lorenzo came out.
Ball starts against the offense. 5 yards from the friendly spot. Repeat, second down.
Aaron's scoreboard.
Wow.
How about UAB?
Yeah.
Blazers had a 13-10 lead in that game. Georgia's tied it up. Remember, Georgia had their hands full last week against Vanderbilt. Iowa over Penn State by a dozen. Clemson by 2 over Carolina in the 4th. Aaron's scoreboard. We'll recheck all those in a few minutes. Lorenzen hits his receiver, Chris Bernard, who fumbles the football. Tommy Kelly has recovered it and takes it out over the 20. So Tommy Kelly now, how about this? A sack, 5 tackles, a forced fumble, a fumble recovery, a quarterback pressure. He's done everything.
I'll tell you what, I was surprised at who made the tackle on this play. It's that little bubble screen where you throw it underneath. You got to put that ball away when you're in traffic. He just gets it ripped out right there, and you see the ball come out. And then watch number 22, Jared Lorenzen. He's the only one over there in the escort. Again, watch Lorenzen right at the bottom of your screen. He's going to come over here. Look at the number of maroon and white shirts. How about Jared Lorenzen?
Off goes to a hard-running Jarius Norwood with a size 9 shoe on the left foot and a size 14 shoe on the right foot. Or the other way around. Had a turf toe, a bad ankle, left the game in the first half, came back a series later, first carry, took it to the house, 58 yards.
Well, for Mississippi State, don't panic. Stay with what got you this far. That's the running game.
Norwood. He's a seam. Norwood to the 45 before he's tripped up. That'll be a first down, and Norwood's slow to get up.
Boy, nice explosion in the hole. Good vision. See the hole develop. Kick out on the outside now. Get up inside. Put those shoulders parallel to the line of scrimmage and start running forward. Good burst of speed at the end. Just keep on going to it. Don't change anything. They've run the ball really well.
Mississippi can't afford, Mississippi State, I should say, can't afford any penalties right here. They've had 6 on the afternoon. They can't afford any losses either. And that'll bring up a second down and long. And Jackie Sherrill just drops his head when they lose yardage on first down. And we've got an injury update, so let's check in with Buzz.
Dave, and the other thing State can't afford is any more injuries. Here's the rundown. Wide receiver Justin Jenkins, he had a cut on his upper right arm. He had to get 20 stitches from a face mask in the first half. Left guard Will Rogers, sprained left ankle. He's out. Aaron Lumpkin, ankle. He's out. Quentin Culberson, a broken leg. He's going to have surgery. Punter Jared Cook down with back spasms.
I don't think the Bulldogs will want to come back to Lexington anytime soon, that's for sure. All part of the game, and there is Mr. Jenkins. Is that his first catch today? Second catch today for Justin Jenkins. The SEC's leading receiver came in with 47 catches to lead the conference. Had 113 yards on 7 receptions a year ago. The senior from Pearl, Mississippi.
Yeah, Mike Archer told us he was going to shadow him, and he has. Big down here for both sides. If you're Mississippi State, you don't want to give up the ball. If you're Kentucky, you need a run.
Third and long. They need to get it to the 43 of the Wildcats. Man under pressure. Flag down at the line of scrimmage. Flag down at the line of scrimmage. Jackie Sherrill thinks it may go against the Wildcats. He's over there pointing in that direction.
Yeah, I think what he wants is offsides, lining up in the neutral zone.
Jackie was right.
You know those old coaches, they'll look down that line and say, look at him, he's got his head in the neutral zone. Jackie's about 3 yards out on the field talking to the official.
Offsides on the defense. Penalty's 5 yards from the previous spot. Repeat, third down.
As my buddy Tim Brando likes to say, that's just Jackie being Jackie.
Jackie being Jackie. Well, Mike Archer, the defensive coordinator, he needs to play right now. You don't want to run, you don't want to blitz too hard because they may just split you and go right up the middle. But you got to get pressure on the quarterback.
So that'll bring up a third down and 4. Pressure coming from the corner. Down goes Kevin Fant. Mike Williams laid that hammer to Kevin Fant. And Fant slow to get up.
And Dave, what Kentucky did is they blitzed both inside linebackers and drew them back. And then Mike Williams just came right off the corner, off the edge. They brought both linebackers up there, faked the inside blitz, and Williams just started in there, untouched.
You know, Coach Archer calls Mike Williams clank because he has such bad hands. The one thing he does have is a hard hit. Good kick from Robert Wallace. Boy, no matter who Mississippi State puts out there, Jackie Sherrill's punters have done a pretty nice job with the exception of the one lengthy touchdown return by Derek Abney. Well, football fans, register for your chance to win $1 million in the Bell South Kick for $1 million contest. One lucky fan will be given the opportunity to kick for $1 million during halftime of the 2004 Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl in Atlanta on January 2nd. Log on to jpsports.com to register and then start practicing your field goals. Bell South, listening, answering. I know Kim Anderson could use $1 million, our spotter today. There is Jared Cook. We talked about back spasms.
Yeah, he's laying on an ice bag there.
You know, and Brent Smith, their field goal kicker's also been bothered by a bad back the last year or so. There's McGingy. A couple of yards on the carry. 50 seconds and counting to the end of the third quarter, which has been somewhat interesting.
Well, if you're Jared Lorenzen, you have to be thinking here, don't make a mistake. Don't try to force that ball in. Don't try to do anything extra. If you're Mississippi State, you think it's hold them here and get good field position.
4 wide receivers in. 3 to the near side. McGingy next to Lorenzen, but he'll throw it. Here's Abney. Took his eye off the football. Darren Williams came up to pressure Derek Abney. But it's not uncommon for us to see Abney make a drop during the course of a game. But he says it kind of refocuses him a little bit. You look at big Antonio Hall. Well, he happens to be a part of our Chick-fil-A Nugget of the game. He is among 3 SEC offensive linemen on the Lombardi and Outland Trophy watch list. Sean Andrews, Wesley Britt of Alabama. Sean Andrews might be one of the best offensive linemen to ever come through this conference. But all 3 of those guys are very talented, as is Derek Abney, who makes the catch at the 30.
Well, I might argue a little bit about Sean Andrews, just with John Hanna, if you didn't mind coming through the SEC.
I got to tell you something. John Hanna was a good one, but...
You're right, I know. Sean Andrews is quite a football player. But look at that catch right there by Abney. That's quite a football player. You know, it's amazing the confidence that Jared Lorenzen has to Abney. He knows he's going to be a big player. He starts off slow, but golly, did he make up for it. We got a great football game.
We'll continue our argument on the best lineman in the SEC history when we come back, and that was a pretty good one right there.
Absolutely.
In Bob Gain, an Outland Trophy Award winner. Stay with us. More football in a moment.
The Hyundai Elantra, a comparison, more standard features, and a more powerful engine than a Honda Civic LX. All for over $2,000 less when comparably equipped. And only the Elantra is protected by America's best warranty. 10 years, 100,000 miles. Looks like we have a winner. Test drive the Hyundai Elantra, starting at just $10,939 at your Hyundai dealer. Hurry into the Hyundai winning season clearance and get up to $2,500 cash back or 0% APR for up to 60 months.
gas? Good neighbors. Citgo, we know you.
Regions Bank presents this week's SEC Salute to Small Business. As a student-athlete, Bob Reed used his skills to help Mississippi State achieve success on the baseball diamond. As a businessman, he uses his skills to help his company, Bob Reed Builder, achieve success in the field of home building. This week's SEC Salute to Business is brought to you by Regions Bank, rated #1 in friendliness to small businesses by the SBA. Click Regions.com. Regions Bank, official bank of the SEC Championship.
So our wireless network, it works here? Yes. Here? Yes. Here?
No.
No?
Yes. No.
Yes. Yes.
It's no.
Do you want some of this?
Let's rumble.
Let's go to
Karen, you're the customer. Surely this is enough network for you, yes?
No.
Do we think alike or what? You want wireless coverage wherever you go. So at Alltel, we're expanding our digital network by over 150,000 square miles. Better digital coverage?
You got that right.
Alltel.
Today's game is brought to you by Alltel. We do wireless like you do wireless. Alltel. You got that right.
Talk about a change in momentum. Mississippi State jumped out to a 17-0 lead. And the Wildcats have responded by scoring 21 of their own. We begin the fourth quarter. Dave Neal, Dave Rowe, Dave Baker, Rob Reichley, our producer, Gary Slim, our director today. Glad you could join us from Lexington. Here's Shane Boyd. Gets a couple on the play out over the 30. Brought down by T.J. Mulwiney.
Tackle made by T.J. Mulwiney.
Mulwiney, a walk-on, a guy that just took a chance. I mean, he started his career at Charleston Southern and thought he wanted to play big-time Division I football and just showed up in Starkville, thought it was a chance for him. He loved the defensive scheme that at the time Joe Lee Dunn was running, and Mississippi State found themselves a pretty doggone good football
They
player.
found a winner in that young man. I've liked his play. He plays it like you're supposed to play, with a passion.
Well said. Gary Lorenzen, quarterback draw, big hole. Lorenzen to the 46-yard line. Slid right about the 46, right in front of Darren Williams.
Well, it takes a big hole to get Jared Lorenzen. Look at this little cross block right there, cross block right there. Nothing out in front of Jared Lorenzen. Just a little quick cross block, no middle linebacker.
Now, that can be a goose play when they come up and the quarterback just calls the play automatically, just has a sound or a call for it when he doesn't see that middle linebacker sitting in there, Dave.
A goose play, huh?
Yeah, that's what he's called, a goose play.
That's a first.
Well, you kind of see center a little bit.
You save stuff.
No,
you save stuff.
I hear you.
That time, Shane Boyd got a goose for a loss of a yard.
You know what's amazing to me? When we were talking about Kentucky, we were talking about their slow start. They could not have had a slower start. But now, I mean, now, nobody go anywhere on this play. This is just stuffed up by Mississippi State. But all of a sudden, when they got that burst, Rick Brooks' team got that burst in the first half, just before halftime. It's a different team.
That first quarter was
horrible.
Well, it was like a lot of first quarters.
Yeah.
Anybody that's watched Kentucky football this year knows that that was representative of their first quarter, with the exception of one game.
And I loved your question to Rich Brooks. Whatever you're doing, Coach, don't do that to start the game.
That's his drop by Glenn Holt. Hit him in a bad spot. Our Yamaha stats to this point. Mississippi State still pounding it out on the ground at 155 yards. Jarius Norwood, 133 yards on 11 carries. Total offense, 282 for Kentucky, but Derek Abney's big punt return, the difference. 80-yard punt return. His first this season. How about this team coming in here, Kentucky, in terms of punt returns? They were last in the league in punt return.
I know, and got the best punt returner around, and they were last. I remember you making that statement. Oh, we got to waste the timeout.
Kentucky again has to burn a timeout. Play clock down to 1. We'll step aside.
When Yamaha set out to build the world's ultimate off-road vehicle, it had to have the greatest ground clearance, independent front and rear suspension.
Jack!
Toughness.
He's tough.
And of course, seating for two. The all-new Rhino 660 four-wheel drive from Yamaha. It's a whole new breed of off-road vehicle.
Try as they might to give you everything, some companies still only offer half of what you need. Only we bring you exactly what you need at new lower prices you're going to like. Bell South answers. You can even save up to $350 a year because we have more ways to bundle unlimited long distance and local with everything else on one bill. Oh, and those guys that only offer you half, it doesn't apply to the price. Bell South. Listening? Answering.
I offered you protection. You refused me. Well, look at you now.
Yeah, I know.
Boy, show me the trunk.
If you want protection, you want the Prestone family and the convenience of topping off with Prestone Quick Fill.
It's funny how top him off sounds like knock him off. Hey, not that funny.
Prestone protection, inside and out.
Jackson, it's a total used car clearance through Saturday exclusively at Watts Quality Ford.
This is your chance for huge savings on a variety of over 200 used cars.
0 down, $169 a month delivers a 2002 certified Ford Taurus with a 6-year, 75,000-mile warranty.
Prices have never been this low ever. Why shop anywhere else?
Come to Watts Quality Ford, Mississippi's largest and #1 certified program Ford dealer.
I-55 North Frontage Road in Jackson, or shop us on the web at watsonquality.com.
And remember, Mississippi, nobody beats the Watts Quality Ford deal. Nobody.
Today's game is brought to you in part by Chevy Trucks. Third down and 10. 12:55. Lorenzen going deep. Looking for Andy. Here's that. Andy, touchdown! Big Blue. There are no flags on the play.
Dave, if I've ever seen a player take over the game, it's Derek Abbey. This is an outstanding throw. Great concentration. The ball was right over it, just perfectly thrown, and he knows exactly what to do with it. And the little guy, if you want to call him little, makes huge plays. He's made it all day long.
The little engine that could.
Well, you hate to say one player changes the game, but Derek Abbey has changed this game around.
I couldn't agree with you more. 28 unanswered points. Lorenzen to Abbey. We've said that on more than one occasion. Back to Lexington after this.
Get a free gallon of iced tea when you purchase any Nuggets party tray at Chick-fil-A. Offer expires December 31st.
Hey guys, welcome to Jiffy Lube. Nice car. It's not a car, it's the Bearmobile. Yeah. It takes care of us, we take care of the Bearmobile. Every 3,000 miles. Don't worry, fellas, the Bearmobile's in good hands.
Make sure you make it to your next road game. Trust your car to the top team in the business, the J-Team.
Bearmobile is good to go. Thank you. All right.
Bear steak! Get that chicken!
Jiffy Lube, the well-oiled machine.
I am a caver. You crawl, you climb, you wiggle through holes. With arthritis pain, it's almost impossible. This is my caving survival kit. And right on top is where I keep my BC arthritis. We got all this hidden beauty down here waiting to be seen. I don't fit quite as well as I used to through some of these cracks and crevices. Places that used to not bulge do. With arthritis pain, you feel like there's sand inside your joints. You take the BC Green with you and you're going to have a good cave trip. Where the body won't fit, the heart still wants to get me to.
One phone company committed to the idea of quality. It's a spirit, it's a commitment. fact, it's a spear mitment. What more could a customer want?
A guarantee would be nice.
Do we think alike or what? At Alltel, if you're not happy with our call quality, you can end your agreement within 15 days, guaranteed.
Spear mitment.
A quality guarantee?
You got that right.
Alltel.
Jared Lorenzen holding that football. That's his 75th career touchdown pass, which pushes him past Tim Couch.
I think they're going to start biting on that
for the career touchdown pass record. Congratulations to Jared. A lot of touchdown passes.
Absolutely.
Kickoff sails to Nick Turner, who takes the knee. Let's go back to that touchdown pass. What a just a nice. It starts from the snap. Nice blocking, nice throw, good catch.
Good time up front. Offensive line giving him time. He throws it up, and this is the most perfect pass that you will see. And Jared Lorenzen, he loved it. He started sprinting. Look at this. You want to see what it's like to catch a ball? Play wide receiver in the SEC. That's a great picture. And how about Lorenzen running all the way downfield, and they walk back to the sideline, sat together. And I wondered if Abney said, hey, I might want that ball. And Lorenzen says, no, I think I'm going to keep it.
You said to me during the break, again, it's hard for one guy to be a difference maker. There's no question in my mind, Derek Abney has turned this game around by himself. Fans to throw, pass high, intended for Justin Jenkins.
Boy, Justin Jenkins had this play. I mean, that ball was just too high. Jenkins coming on a crossing right there, up the top, right on the left, see him right there going out. I mean, he's wide open. All he has to do is throw the ball, deliver it to him. And what, he gets 20 stitches, Dave, in his arm? Is that what Dave Baker told us? Wow.
That's a lot of stitches.
You better believe it is. Tough kid.
Jenkins, 2 catches, 6 yards today. Second down and 10 now for Kevin Fance, Mississippi State offense. Hammer as he lets it go, and it's picked off by the Wildcats. Ellery Moore laid the woods to Kevin Fance. Lawson Gell makes the interception. That's his first this year, and Kentucky's in business.
99 on a twist play, comes up the middle, clean. Little twist there with the tackle. One tackle goes across, the other one straight off him, and it forces Fan just to throw the ball up. There was no way that Fan could step forward. The big man, Ellery Moore, gets a big sack. What a play.
That makeshift offensive line right now for Mississippi State just wearing down to the pressure of Kentucky. Inside the 20 goes Alexi Begingi. Well, Begingi, we didn't even see him in the first half, but he's now the team's leading rusher as hostilities begin to erupt with 12-16 to go in the football game.
Well, Mississippi State upset. You know, this is a game, a lot of pride on the line here.
What a difference a half can make.
That is incredible. 216 yards to 37. And we're talking about the Bulldogs had complete control of this football game.
Mississippi State has just 91 yards since the first quarter. They lead it by 11. To the Wildcats. Brings a quick throw near side. Here's Tommy Cook. Still on his feet. Cook down to the 4-yard line, and a flag comes in.
Boy, what an effort by Tommy Cook. We're talking about breaking tackles. It's just a little swing pass. Look where he gets hit. Right in here, he's going to get, there's one hit. Now, look at this. He gets hit on the 10. And I mean, he stretches inside the 5-yard line.
They're going to probably call a late hit.
Dead ball.
Jack.
Personal foul against the defense. Half the distance to the goal. It is a first down.
The senior out of Decatur, Georgia. Just a little too late. I don't think it was anything intentional, but he can protect those players.
Yeah, that's just effort to get over. The big man working hard to get over there. Nothing fancy here. Mississippi State knows it.
Rock Johnson, Arliss Beach in the backfield. Johnson, the fullback. In motion, dropping. Here's Beach. Dives for the goal line. Stopped short, I believe. Yes, he will be. Arliss Beach had 3 short touchdown runs against the Gators a few weeks back.
What you have to do here, if you're a defensive lineman, you got to get penetration under them. Then you got your backers coming up there. You don't back up. Darrell Williams in there, the free safety coming over top. You know it's nothing fancy. I mean, they only got 1 foot to go.
Second down and goal.
Different Kentucky football. We said that. Come down the line a little tall. Got a blocker. You got Rock Johnson out in front of you. Just walk in the end zone untouched. Well, this may be the best turnaround I've seen on the team. And how about Derek Anthony? Running all the way out there saying, way to go, guys. Plays with a lot of excitement.
Arliss Beach with 2 touchdowns today. 6 this year. 6 of those this year. Taylor Begley's point after. And it's good. How about 35 unanswered points by Kentucky? We're in the 4th quarter. Back to Lexington after this.
Well, if you ever plan to motor west, take my way, that's the highway, that is the best. Keep kicks out on Route 66. Get your kicks out on Route 66. You'll be feeling real fine on Route 66.
I'm feeling it. You gotta want it bad. The Crystal parking lot. You never know who you're gonna meet at 3 o'clock in the morning on your way to Crystal.
She really enjoys her crystals.
She's a keeper.
Definitely a keeper.
Gotta get down on one knee, though.
Do you have it in your heart to crystal me back?
No, you didn't. How's that? Was that good? I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it.
Yum, yummy, yum, yum, yummy.
You're so cute.
If you're looking for a great way to spend the day with your son, hunting buddies, or business associates, you need to hit the trail. Hi, I'm Jerry Pate, here to tell you about the new and exciting Alabama Quail Trail. The Quail Trail features the most stunning scenery and facilities in the South. Most reserves offer fine lodging and exceptional southern cooking. You'll experience professional guides, world-class bird dogs, and a remarkable Alabama quail hunting adventure. Log on or call today.
Offensive, despicable. Newspapers say Barbara Blackman's attacks on Amy Tuck cross a line of decency that should not be crossed and raise questions about Blackman's character. But that's her record. So radical, she voted against cracking down on weapons in schools. Blackman opposed getting tough on street gangs. She opposed the School Safety Act. And Blackman actually voted against prayer at high school football games. It's all radical. It's all Barbara Blackman.
SEC football is brought to you in part by Chevy Trucks. Kentucky Wildcats, 35 consecutive points. In that last drive right before halftime, they marched it over 80 yards and stuck it in the end zone with about 35 seconds left. And that really has sparked this ball. It's not even the same team we saw in the first quarter tonight.
Not even close.
Good kickoff, and send Nick Turner to the back of the end zone. Let's go down to Dave Baker with our All-Tel sideline connection.
Dave, you know, there's been a lot of things that have been incredible about this 35 unanswered points, but one of the most incredible has been the play of this Kentucky offensive line. They have been inconsistent at best. They have given Jared Lorenzen lots of times. One of the big reasons has been the work of offensive line coach Paul Dunn, a guy who played for Jackie Sherrill at Pitt in the 1980s.
Paul's right in there.
Ineligible downfield. Boy, the wheels have fallen off the wagon. But if you're Mississippi State, there's a lot of things you can do. You need to come back, take the pressure off your offensive line, complete those little ones.
Ineligible, downfield, against the offense. The penalty is 5 yards from the previous spot. Repeat, first down.
You've run the ball with some success. Go back to your running game, mix it up a little bit, and maybe they can find Justin Jenkins on one, because he's the big breaker. Ray Bivens, we haven't heard much from him. Kentucky has shut down the wideouts, Dave.
8 penalties against Mississippi State. There's Foley. To the 27-yard line. Nice play and a pretty good gain on 1st and 15 for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, a little drop off the line. Just come off the line. Nobody picked him up. He's just going to come through the line right there. Now come through, just turn around, and again, it's almost like a long handoff. One missed tackle. Mike Williams misses the tackle, and he makes them pay for it. They got plus yardage. Now they're in a 2nd and 2. Again, it's going to take a lot to get back in this football game. You've got to break one or two. But you just keep on chipping away.
Jones, the fullback, Turner, the tailback. It'll be Nick Turner. Breaks out of a couple of tackles. Sweet Pete Burns brings him down at the 15-yard line. Pressure came from Paul that made Turner reverse field right into Sweet Pete.
And when Sweet Pete puts the hands on you, you're going down. Look at that. Great hand strength. That's what you want out of your defensive lineman. Great hand strength. Breaks back. Now, watch the hands get on him, and they never split. You see how he just clinches them in there? He's trying to pull the football out.
And Sweet Pete hurt that left hand in the first quarter. Slapped it on somebody from Mississippi State's helmet. Left the field in a little bit of pain.
Big down here. This is Sweet Pete's time to shine.
Man fires. Jenkins makes the catch. Justin Jenkins to the 40, first down. Big play for the Bulldogs with 8:18 to go.
And the coverage.
A quick strike.
I was just going to say, Dave, the coverage fell down on the play. They're in the hurry-up offense. Coverage fell down. Look at this. Just slips, fall down. And Jenkins just turns and makes the big play. You got to go to him because he's a target. And he has got incredible stats. Now, hurry up. Don't waste time.
Over the middle again. Nick Turner flag down. Turner to the 45-yard line.
Jackie Sherrill says that's one way to stop the clock, get a penalty. Let's see what's going again. Another ineligible downfield. That's those big linemen trying to get downfield quick on that little jump pass. See Jackie Sherrill saying, who is it?
Ineligible, downfield, against the offense. The penalty is 5 yards from the previous spot. It remains first down.
Well, the last time this happened, they were able to convert a first down, but they're just losing valuable seconds off that clock. 7:57 to go in the game. Still on his feet, still churning. Officials blew it dead at the 42.
That's a good way to keep on pick up yards.
Justin Jenkins came in with 47 receptions to lead the SEC. Has 3 today, but remember, playing with a bad arm. 20 stitches in that arm right before halftime. And you see 50 McNeil right there. He's had to move from guard to center because Blake Jones is in here with a bad knee back in Starkville. He had started 26 straight games. Will Rogers is out with sprained ankle. hit on Nick Turner.
Boy, the start of that play, I thought that they had really guessed well, but Mike Williams came over from his safety spot. I mean, he made a big play. If he doesn't make that tackle, they're going down the sideline. They had an escort.
Third down and 9 for Jackie Sherrill's group. Well, I think this is their last big hope here. They're going to need to have to convert this to keep the drive alive, or you can pretty much seal it away. You need a total of 3 scores, 2 touchdowns, and a field goal. Do you have any help? Here's Fant throwing on the run. Picked off at the 30-yard line. Urban Flowers to the 46 of Mississippi State. The first interception of the season for Urban Flowers. A flag down right in front of that Mississippi State bench.
Boy, Kevin Fant had a chance on the play. He really did. He had a shot. When he rolled out to the weak side, he had a receiver wide open. You see there, dead ball, personal foul against Mississippi State. But really, Fant had a chance on the play. He had an open receiver downfield.
Dead ball. Personal foul against Mississippi State. After the play was over, 15 yards, first down.
Wow. That'll march it all the way down to the Bulldog 31-yard line. Fant now with 13 interceptions to go along with 13 touchdowns this year.
Now watch this, Dave. Look way downfield there. You see, he had somebody wide open back there. He just underthrew it.
And somebody's just not just anybody. It's Justin Jenkins, and then Fant gets popped after the interception.
Yeah, he goes down. Now, that's a legal hit right there. You're allowed to do that. Whatever happened on the play, the dead ball foul happened on the sideline.
Right.
Sideline warning against Mississippi State. First warning.
Our Aaron's scoreboard. Georgia and UAB. A couple of minutes remaining in that contest. UAB led 13-10. Iowa over Penn State 26-14, and Clemson holds on over North Carolina. But I will say this about Kevin Fant for a moment. This young man left the football team in the spring, got his priorities right, figured out what he wanted to do, and came back, and Jackie Sherrill said that since he returned to this team in preseason practice, he has been nothing but the consummate team player, and he has showed me some toughness this year, Dave. The senior from Moss Point.
Oh yeah, you gotta love a quarterback like this. Tough kid, made some life changes, came back to that football team, and they said he came back. His attitude was so strong when he came back. He said the players welcomed him back. They said, "Hey, coach, we need him to lead us."
We'll probably see Kyle York take some snaps here in a few moments. A sophomore out of Spring, Texas. Played some last week.
Well, I know Moss Point, Mississippi. I got to tell you, that's the home of Robert and Eddie Kayak. Remember that well. You never forget where your coach is from.
Hard running by Arliss Beach will pick up the first down. Clock ticks, closing in on 5 minutes. Well, Dave, chance for us to quickly talk about, obviously, what's in store for Mississippi State down the road. Jackie Sherrill, of course, leaving the coaching fraternity at the end of the year. Larry Templeton, the athletic director, one of the best in the country, certainly has to make a very important decision for his university. And there's still a lot of football left, but you know the wheels are turning in Starkville right now on who the next coach is going to be.
Well, when Jackie Sherrill took over that program, he elevated that program to a contender in the SEC. He's done a marvelous football job, and I think that they're going to get a list of candidates that are going to. I think it's really going to surprise a lot of people.
First and 10 handoff. Aquante Gibson, his first carry today.
And Dave, I have to tell you that I've been in that situation the players are in. That's a tough situation to be in. It really is.
You got a great story. I want to hear it in just a second about. Actually, well, we'll go with it right now. Tell me the story about the time you actually had a coach quit on you.
At halftime. we were down 35-0 at half, and the coach came in. He said, "Listen, this is the NFL." He just came in. He said, "Listen, guys, protect yourself. It's every man for himself. I quit." And he just walked out. I've never seen him again from that moment on.
Unbelievable in the National Football League.
Just quit at halftime. Everybody said, is he serious? And the coach yelling from back, oh, yeah, I'm gone. That's it.
Protect yourself.
Just protect yourself.
Every man for himself.
Now, here's the worst thing of it. We ended up losing 52-0 to Miami Dolphins, and I was the player of the game on defense. I had about 20 tackles.
That's because you protected yourself.
I protected myself. Oh, gee. You're killing me, friend. My partner. You know, we laugh about it, but it's a tough situation for those kids because the first week you're just overwhelmed and you're confused.
Yeah.
You don't know what's going on. Now they've taken they want their coach to go out a winner. And Jackie Sherrill, whether he wins more football games or not this year, he's a winner.
Nice play fake by Lorenzen. He's got a lot of room to the 5. And that's where he's tripped up by Eric Fuller. And Lorenzen already has been banged around quite a bit today.
Boy, you talk about faking out somebody. This is faking out. Look at this. Great fake. That's Dockery coming in there. He just got faked. But I think Lorenzen hit right flat on his back. When he comes down right there, he flips. Just hit right flat on his back. Tough kid. Got the thigh bruise. Was going nowhere. And all of a sudden, this ignited this team. Shane Boyd certainly helped. But it's been Lorenzen's football game.
Boyd comes in. Antonio Hall back in the game, too.
Rich Brooks standing with Lorenzen, talking with him. There's a lot of compassion there. He wants him to do well.
Gibson makes the handoff down to the 2-yard line.
If Kentucky can ever get a quick start, it's amazing how many points they can score.
I offered you protection. You refused me. Well, look at you now.
Yeah, I know.
Boy, show me the trunk.
If you want protection, you want the Prestone family and the patented dual-action formula of Big Yellow.
That trunk thing was really funny.
Do I amuse you?
No.
Prestone protection, inside and out.
Beautiful, isn't it? Hi, I'm Richard Karn, asking you to join me in helping to protect the environment by recycling your old rechargeable batteries.
The cell phone that brings help when you need it most. The laptop computer that lets you work anywhere, and cordless power tools all get their power from rechargeable batteries. But rechargeable batteries don't last forever, so when it's time for a new one, please recycle the old one. Call me at 1-800-8-BATTERY or visit our website to find a collection site near you.
Hey, barbecue boy, it's time for a new kind of barbecue, Pizzone style. Pizza Hut's new honey barbecue chicken pizzone. Barbecue seasoned white meat chicken with a sweet and tangy honey barbecue dipping sauce. Just $5.99. Get the new honey barbecue chicken pizzone on any of our tasty pizzone recipes. Just $5.99 or $2.99 when you buy your family's favorite large pizza at menu price.
We may never barbecue again.
Enjoy that barbecue taste anytime when you gather around the good stuff.
Jackson, it's a total used car clearance through Saturday exclusively at Watts Quality Ford.
This is your chance for huge savings on a variety of over 200 used cars.
0 down, $169 a month delivers a 2002 certified Ford Taurus with a 6-year, 75,000-mile warranty.
Prices have never been this low ever. Why shop anywhere else?
Come to Watts Quality Ford, Mississippi's largest and #1 certified program Ford dealer.
I-55 North Frontage Road in Jackson, or shop us on the web at watsonquality.com.
And remember, Mississippi, nobody beats the Watts Quality Ford deal. Nobody.
35-17, 2:49 to go after Kentucky takes a timeout. A couple of Jerry Lorenzen fans. How about that? Little mini Jared there. Little mini-me. Handoff to Gibson. Touchdown. Wildcats. Devontae Gibson.
Control the line of scrimmage. just blow them off, occupy them, make a seam, let your running back run through it.
Well, Dave, we've been here quite a bit over the last couple of years and seen some dramatic conclusions. None perhaps even more dramatic than the LSU game. In fact, this one after up a good. But last few weeks ago, Florida's dramatic come from behind win, but I don't think we're going to see that today.
No, we're not going to see that. But we're seeing it. I mean, it's incredible what has turned around. This game has turned around like I just cannot believe it. It's just been amazing. I mean, we're talking about a team that was completely just devastated. And now they're controlling the line of scrimmage. Gibson just burst in untouched. I mean, when you got big men up front, all of them have injuries. We're talking about time in the season when you look across the line, they're talking about hip bruise on Hall. Sylvester Miller has the knee. Seitz had a turf toe. Rollins has the shoulder. Matt Huff has an ankle. I mean, it's like a mash unit. And Rich Brooks gets to enjoy it.
For more on Rich Brooks, let's send it down to Dave Baker.
You know, Dave, it was real interesting during our meetings yesterday. We were talking with Rich Brooks about what he was going to do about this two-quarterback situation, and we asked him, you know, do you have a set number of snaps? What do you want to do? He said, well, it's kind of a feel thing. And last week when Jared Lorenzen got off to the tough start against Ohio, he had that feel, brought Shane Boyd in at exactly the right time, and it sparked this team. And today, from a feel standpoint, you certainly could have made the argument that, hey, you know, maybe it's time to go with Boyd again. But Brooks hung in there with Jared Lorenzen, and what a good decision that proved to be.
Well, Jared Lorenzen will be sitting in the whirlpool in the training room tomorrow quite a bit. He is taking a beating today.
Well,
and I got to tell you, let's go back to the fumble recovery.
That was one of the real keys. They fumbled the ball. Lorenzen ran like 15 yards, came down there and covered it. I mean, that was a huge play.
On a running play, the quarterback ran 30 yards to recover a fumble. Not bad for Jared Lorenzen, and along the way, passes Tim Couch for career touchdown passes, 75 in his career when he hooked up with Derek Abney.
Well, you got to like the big guy. I mean, I really like him. I know his weight has been a huge issue, and I don't know.
Well, you make it an issue.
Well, I ask him every time how much you weigh. Yeah. I want to see if he weighs more than I do. But there's the man that he followed, who set all those marks that he's trying to pick up.
Kyle York checks in to play quarterback for the Bulldogs. The sophomore out of Spring, Texas, 205. 6 foot, 205 pounds. York's first pass is a nice one. It's caught at the 37-yard line by Ray Vivens. Kyle York this year, 9 of 17, 136 yards.
That was a nice pass right there. I mean, rolling out, strong side, square the shoulders, throw a strike. Kyle York getting a little time. And you know, one thing about Mississippi State, I want to make sure that everyone knows, the cupboard's not bare. When Jackie Sherrill leaves, the cupboard's not bare. We're talking about a man who has built a program. York throws a duck that is picked off at the 42-yard line. Antoine Huffman.
A flag down at the 45-yard line of Kentucky. We'll wait for that, but apparently it'll go against the Bulldogs, or it was after the interception.
What York did was just throw into double coverage. He just threw it up for grabs on that one. That was not a pretty pass. First one was pretty.
We have an interception. After the interception, we have a personal foul, face mask against Mississippi State. 15 yards from the spot of the interception. It will be a first down.
Let's go back to the interception. Huffman, his first of the year.
Well, it's double coverage out here. You're going to see two. Look at that, two people. Huffman goes up for it, and you see the using of the face mask to pull him down on the play. I think that's Justin Jenkins who gets that face mask there and uses the face mask to pull him on down. And Kyle York knows he's made a mistake. He threw into double coverage.
That's the 11th penalty today against Mississippi State. Trey Barclay comes in, number 15. From Mayfield, Kentucky, the junior getting a little bit of action. 6'5", big quarterback. All kinds of changes going on now for the Big Blue. And Timeout. Timeout. Mississippi State with 2:16 to go in the contest.
We're ready and dance, no matter when or where.
There's nothing worse than being ready to go and your car won't. So we're ready in advance. Ready with the right equipment, the right people, and the right parts. All at ready to go, low prices. And if it's your battery, we'll install it for free. So bring it on. We're ready in advance.
For the best part, people that drive, we're ready in advance.
Yeah, bring it on.
Get a free gallon of iced tea when you purchase any Nuggets party tray at Chick-fil-A. Offer expires December 31st.
We are back in Lexington. Hand off to Gibson. Another quarterback, Rocco Marigas, 6'1" freshman out of Canton, Ohio. Napa Auto Parts players of the game. Jarius Norwood, 133 yards rushing. Norwood had 105 yards in the first quarter, including a 50-plus yard touchdown, and Derek Abney had 200 yards total offense today, including a nice 80-yard punt return. Handoff to the fullback, Chris Browse. A lot of people at Mississippi State calling a timeout.
I know. I'm thinking.
What?
With 134, you know, you always want to hold out hope that you can get a score and get a little bit of respectability. But what Kentucky was doing, Dave, well, I mean, you know, you're trying. Hey, you're pulling out all the punches. I know what you're thinking. But what they were doing is Kentucky was using the quarterbacks to run into plays. That was kind of interesting.
SEC football has been brought to you by Advance Auto Parts, by Gatorade, by Jiffy Lube, by Aaron Sales and Leasing, and by Chick-fil-A.
Kentucky over Mississippi State. Wildcats on 4th down and 4 from the 38 will punt it away. Pretty impressive display by the Wildcats. I don't know what was in the halftime speech of Rich Brooks, but a man who's been a head coach for 19 years at the college level, blocked, and certainly knows what to say as the ball sails out of bounds. So there's the first bright bit of news from Mississippi State. But Rich Brooks got on this club, boy. I mean, he must have, in his own way, I'm not saying he yelled at him, but he must have really done something to stir it up in that locker room.
Well, that bad snap off the ground always messes up the timing. But you're right, Dave, back to Rich Brooks. Whatever he said at halftime, I want to tell you something. I'd tape that again, and I'd have it ready for next week because it got their attention. It really did. He's a very honest man in his analysis. I mean, he just says, hey, we need help here, we need help here, we got to do this, we got to do that.
Kyle York gets the pass off, looking for Fred Reed, just out of his hands. Coming up next week, a return trip to Oxford, Mississippi, as Ole Miss takes on South Carolina. Eli Manning and that offense will go against the tough defense of the South Carolina Gamecocks, and a big one tonight for the Ole Miss Rebels. We'll find out a lot about if they're pretenders or contenders for the SEC West, as Arkansas is in Oxford, Mississippi.
Well, there's no pretending about Eli Manning. I'm going to tell you one thing. We have watched him a couple times this year. Just tremendous, just great mechanics, abilities. Golly, he is a great quarterback.
Tommy Farrell with the catch for Mississippi State. Jared Lorenzen. Lorenzen will finish the day 16 of 24, 256 yards and a touchdown. His best passing performance of the season. His previous best was 236 against Louisville.
Mississippi State trying to get in that hurry up, trying to get a score, trying to get a little bit of respectability here. Get some snaps for their young quarterback. Oh, how about Rich Brooks?
Rich Brooks with his first SEC win. The clock stops at 26 seconds as flags go flying. Our spotter, Kim Anderson, left
5-yard penalty. Repeat. Sit down.
After our last touchdown, and he was in such a hurry to get out of here, he left his spotting board.
You'll realize
that'll be a fine. Here's York under pressure. Still on his feet. Wow, York working hard. Gets it back to the 35. Derek Abney getting a nice congratulatory hug from Rich Brooks. And Rich Brooks, as well as everybody else in this stadium, knows that that man, number 12, took it upon himself and puts this team on his shoulders as Kentucky wins it 42-17. 42 unanswered points, and they all occurred in the last 32 minutes of this contest. Rich Brooks with his first SEC win will return after a word from your local stations.
Whether you're playing golf or choosing an automobile, it's all about the drive. That's why for the best drive going, I always go to Fowler Buick GMC.
Thanks, Steve. For a great drive and great savings, check out the PGA Tour.
Mississippi State visited the Kentucky Wildcats on Saturday. It was an early starting ball game, the earliest game in the conference for the day. The Kentucky Wildcats won the football game 42-17. And, Coach, we controlled the first 25 minutes of the ball game. Kentucky controlled the final 35 minutes and made some very, very big plays.
Well, originally, we went into the game knowing that we had to start fast because Kentucky has, in their game, started very fast, especially against Florida, and Florida had to come back at the end when Kentucky wore down. But we did some good things. Jarris made a long run, but we still up front, we were throwing and catching, and we also were playing very well defensively and causing things to happen. But then right before the half, we gave up a long touchdown, and then the momentum kind of changed. And in the third quarter, we gave up a punt, which completely flip-flopped the momentum, and we could never turn it around and get it back. And this was the first play of the long touchdown by Jarris. This is a tall sweep to the left, and the up front blocking was very, very good. He got in the secondary, made some people miss him, and he also just outrun. Jarris is a lot faster than what people think he is, but he's very good. He hurt his ankle, and when he came to the sideline, then he hit his big toe. This is a fumble snap by Jared Lorenzen, and we came up, Birdsong came up with the recovery, and we took that in there for a score. We're coming here, and this is probably one of the biggest plays. They run the Utah pass, and we come up and strip the ball. That's Pee Wee Griffin stripping the ball, and we come back and just fall on it. And the ball came out, and that was Jared that came down and got his own fumble, and that was a big, big play. Come right back, and they scored after that. We come right back, and we missed the first down by 2 yards. Then we kicked, and Jared Cook had done a great job of getting the ball out of bounds and kicking it, and we kicked it and our gunner on this side got blocked inside, and then we just had too many people missing him. We had 5 guys that missed the tackle, and of course he's pretty good. But right here at the end, I thought we were doing a very good job of keeping leverage on him, and I'm not sure that 32 wasn't holding there, but he returned it for the touchdown, and that momentum there just completely changed the stands and everybody's feelings. They come back and then throw a middle screen, and we did a good job of ripping the ball out, and this is Tommy Kelly coming over and picking it up and just get in front of him and block somebody. And there's Jared Rezenzen coming and making that play. He did that quite a bit. But we played a game, and they did a twist inside, the 2 inside guys doing a twist, and we just didn't pick up. We have 3-on-2 and did not pick up the twist. We didn't communicate and pick it up, and that turned in for another touchdown. The second half, offensively, we gave them too many opportunities through 3 interceptions, and then also in a return punt. So you gave them 4 touchdowns right off the bat.
And the Kentucky Wildcats took the advantage of those situations, made them pay off in touchdowns, and won the football game 42-17. We'll take a look at the first half highlights of Mississippi State at Kentucky right after these messages.
Mississippi State football with head coach Jackie Sherrill is brought to you by MSU Gift Annuity. Help support Mississippi State University with an MSU Gift Annuity. Cellular South, the official wireless provider of Bulldog Athletics. Welcome to the Cellular South. Winn-Dixie, real good food from real good people at a real good price. Winn-Dixie, the real deal. Bancorp South, introducing home site internet banking. Bancorp South, get there from here. Cooper Tires, the official tire of the Southeastern Conference. Cooper Tires, don't give up a theme. Bryan Foods, our family guarantees you'll love every bite. Bryan, the flavor of the South. Gatorade Thirst Quencher, the official thirst quencher of the Mississippi State Bulldogs. Gatorade, is it in you? Northeast Mississippi Coca-Cola bottlers. Coca-Cola, you make the game. Participating BP Amoco distributors of Mississippi. And by Miss Goldie Chicken from Sanderson Farms. As always, Sanderson Farms fresh.
All together in sync, so competitive. Brothers to the core, we link, don't forget it. In bad times and good, friend or foe. If life's a game you play, then I'm 1 for 0. All day in the dirt, my sweat's my paycheck. We're brothers to the core. It's like 1 for all, if one should fall, we tight despite the weather and fight for one cause. We're brothers to the core, so please believe me. Never forfeit the game, my team needs me. No one ever said success would come easy, but that's when my friends step in with LOVE.
Cooper Tire is proud to be the official tire of the Southeastern Conference. Cooper Tires. Drive on.
You smell that? That's tailgating, son. Nothing else in the world smells like that. I love the smell of tailgating in the morning. Cooking up chicken and ribs that we picked up at Winn-Dixie. Yeah, Bulldog footballs in the air. That smell, you know? That smoky smell. The whole place smells like victory.
Real good food from real good people at a real good price. Winn-Dixie, the real deal.
In football town, I know my team needs me.
And without my boys, the game could be lost. In football town,
I know I can make the difference.
I know fans can win the game. I've seen it, I've felt it, I've tasted it. Oh, yeah! I know. You make the game.
Why should you consider an MSU gift annuity? Hi, this is Ron Polk, and I consider this a great opportunity because it supports the university I love and makes great financial sense for me. The MSU gift annuity is income tax deductible. It returns at rates higher than traditional CDs. Rates are guaranteed, and earnings are partially income tax free. Call Vance Bristol with the MSU Foundation at 662-325-7000.
Coach, you mentioned that we wanted to get started and get started fast against Kentucky. We were able to do that. We swapped possessions to open the ball game, and on our second possession, we held the ball for 12 plays, drove 74 yards, converted a field goal. Then a few moments later, came back with a long 58-yard touchdown run and had things going our way.
Well, we took that drive and went all the way down the field, and we dropped a touchdown pass in the end zone, but we kicked a field goal, and then we came back and we had the long run by Jarius Norwood, and then we came back and we played very well defensively. We were making things happen, causing them to do some things that they had been making plays with. And we went into the game knowing that we had to start fast, try to get the momentum. We did, and then right before the half, we had to lax both sides of the ball, offense and defense, and gave them a chance to go down and score right before the half.
And Kentucky did indeed score with 38 seconds before halftime to close it up to a 10-point ball game, but it gave the Wildcats that momentum they needed for a second-half surge. Let's take a look at the first half of Mississippi State and Kentucky. Mississippi State and Kentucky met on the Kentucky campus, Commonwealth Stadium, the 31st meeting between the Dogs and the Cats. A crowd of 57,000 was on hand, and Mississippi State on their second possession at their own 20 sent Jarius Norwood around the right side for 10 yards. A first down. And then again, it's Jarius Norwood at number 12 responds with a run of 19 yards into Wildcat territory at the 41. From that point, number 16, Kevin Fant, throws to the freshman, number 14, Omar Connor. The pickup is good for 33 yards, deep in Kentucky territory. Mississippi State caps the 74-yard possession with a field goal from 22 yards out. Brent Smith is good. The Dogs lead 3-0. After Kentucky couldn't move and punted back to Mississippi State, the Bulldogs from their own 42 gave it to number 12 with an excellent lane in which to run, a good move, and excellent speed. Jarius Norwood sprints 58 yards into the end zone. The Bulldogs converted, and at the end of one period led Kentucky 10-0. Mississippi State was to add to that lead in the second quarter. Jarius Lorenzen fumbled the football. Marvin Birdsong recovered for Mississippi State at the Kentucky 26, and the Bulldogs were to put points on the board following the turnover. On a pitch to Nick Turner, he hands it to Omar Connor on the reverse, and Omar picks up 5 yards to the Wildcat 21. The Bulldogs picked up the first down on the pitch sweep to the left. Behind good blocking, Nick Turner finds 8 yards and a first down. And then Mississippi State went to the air, and Kevin Fant, with good protection, steps out of the pocket, finds the open Ray Bivens, the number 10, gets the touchdown catch. Mississippi State leads Kentucky 17-0. But with a little less than 5 minutes to go in the first half, the momentum changed when Kentucky, starting deep in their own territory, had Jared Lorenzen throwing to Derek Abney, who made a fine catch for a first down at the 23. And then with time to throw, the big guy picks out a receiver and hits Chris Bernard down the sideline into Mississippi State territory at the 42. Kentucky continued to move. And again, it was through the air that Lorenzen threw to Shane Boyd. And number 7 takes it to the Mississippi State 7, for where Kentucky puts it into the end zone. Utilizing number 41, Ronald Johnson, on the call, he plunges it across the final stripe. Kentucky converted, and with 38 seconds to go in the first half, the Dogs led the Cats 17-7. Kamar Jackson is a young man that gets the job done. He's been a down tackle for Mississippi State for the last 2 years following a junior college career. He was forced to miss a couple of ball games at the start of the season for having played one game prior to an injury in junior college, but was reinstated and has contributed to Mississippi State's defensive efforts. Our player profile today is Kamal Jackson.
From Decatur, Georgia. After a standout high school career in his hometown of Atlanta, senior Kamal Jackson was named one of the best linebackers in the Southeast. With offers to attend many Division I schools, Kamal relied on the experiences of a childhood friend to make his decision. Former Bulldog Greg Favors.
Me and Greg's younger brother, Timothy, we were like best friends. So when we always watch Greg play, you know, he's a great athlete, you know, and I just said, man, when he went to Southside High School and came into Mississippi State, I said, man, wherever Greg, I'm gonna try to break his record. You know, that was my plan, to break Greg's record. See.
Kamal spent his first 2 collegiate seasons at community college. Once he arrived in Starkville, he was ready to do whatever it took to help the team. In Kamal's case, it was put on weight and moved to the defensive line.
Coach Dunn asked me, you know, he said he wanted to get his best 11 on the field in the situation. So, you know, TJ played middle. I moved to the end spot, and being at the end spot, you know, I need to pick up weight being down in the trenches. So I called myself putting on a little weight to play defensive end. It turned out I put on a lot of weight. I put on like an extra 30 pounds or so. Well, after that year, got a new defensive coordinator in, new defensive line coach. He liked my intensity level, he said. Asked me if I like to play defensive tackle. I said, but if that'd help the team, yeah, I probably would, Coach.
Kamal has always been considered even-tempered. His secret weapon, a kennel full of dogs.
You know, if I come home I had a bad day, I can be just angry or something. Just go out there and talk to my dogs, man, they gonna show me love. They're always happy when they see me, and it makes me feel happy. You know, it brings joy to me, you know, to see my dogs happy. And I know they're gonna be there for me no matter what.
With his final season coming to an end, Kamal is glad he made the journey to the small-town atmosphere of Mississippi State.
It's a big difference from being from Atlanta. Coming from Atlanta to Starkville was a big difference for me. But you had to learn to adapt. And, you know, I had to adapt. You know, I met a lot of people here who made a difference in my life. You know, being from Atlanta, I was used to everything was fast, you know, violence. Right here, it's not that. You know, it's all about a family.
Touchdown with 38 seconds before halftime. They trailed by 10 at the intermission. They got the football to open the third quarter, and Coach, to their credit, they drove that thing 80 yards. They stuck it in the end zone, closed that ball game up to a 3-point ball game. It was a brand new affair.
Well, the big play is right before the half when we didn't make the first down and we had to get kicked to them, and then all of a sudden they made a couple of plays and they kept the momentum going. They scored, and then in the second half, even though we were ahead 17-7, we came out, they had the ball in the third quarter, opening of the third quarter. They did a good job of moving it down the field and put points on the board, made it 14-17. And then we had done a great job in the first half in the kicking game. We gained field position, did a good job of managing it, and our punter, Jared Cook, did a great job putting one out on the 1-yard line, putting another one out on the 10, and then all of a sudden we're kicking it out of bounds, and you know, and he hooks it right back to the hash or to the numbers, and all the coverage was going that direction. And you know, Abney did a great job of hitting the seam, and we had some people miss some tackles. But you know, in retrospect, that one play probably created the most, and because it is the most exciting play in college football, is the punt return, and that completely changed the momentum of their fans, because the first half their fans are not into the game, but after that point they were very, very loud and continued to get louder and control the game.
Kentucky got the 80-yard punt return from Derek Abney to go out in front 21-17, and we're not to be headed in the second half. We'll take a look at the second half of the Dogs and the Cats. Mississippi State led Kentucky 17-7 going into the third quarter. The Wildcats had scored just before intermission and were to get the ball to start the third quarter. Jared Lorenzen on the Utah pass hits Arliss Beach. He fumbles the football. Bulldogs and the Wildcats fight for it. And Jared Lorenzen for Kentucky comes up with the recovery and the first down. On the next play, the Wildcats stay on the ground. They send their running back through a gaping hole into the left side and into state territory at the 40. And then Jared Lorenzen elects to throw again, and this time he finds a split receiver, Keenan Burton, to the Bulldogs' 6-yard line. And the Wildcats were not to be denied. They moved it to the 1, and Arliss Beach took it in for the touchdown, and the Cats had cut the lead to a 3-point ball game, 17-14. After Mississippi State received the kickoff and failed to convert the first down, Jared Cook punted downfield. Derek Abney, number 12, gathers it in at the 20. And the premier punt returner, using his great skills in an open field and forcing people to miss tackles, picked up a convoy of blockers downfield in those blue jerseys and white pants, and the pack worked their way into the end zone. An 80-yard punt return, and Kentucky was in front 21-17 and were not to be headed. The Cats got the ball back late in the third quarter, and Lorenzen in Mississippi State territory. Through to Chris Bernard, who fumbled the football, and the Bulldogs alertly picked it up. Tommy Kelly on the recovery. Mississippi State moved to a 2nd and 2 and stayed on the ground with Jarius Norwood on the carry. Number 12 behind an avenue of blockers. Moves past Kentucky defenders for a pickup of 16. And then Kevin Fant throws complete to Justin Jenkins. However, facing a 3rd down and 4 at Kentucky 47, the Wildcats execute the corner blitz, and it's successful. They drop Mississippi State for a loss, and the Bulldogs punt it back to the Wildcats, who led 21-17 at the end of 3 periods. Jared Lorenzen himself kept the football in the Kentucky possession and raced it out 15 yards to the 47. And then he went to the air and found number 12, Derek Abney, thorn in the side of Mississippi State. Abney completed the catch and the run for 53 yards and a touchdown. The Cats led 28-17. And then Mississippi State, under heavy pressure, has Fant hit just as he releases the ball. Kentucky's Claude Seguil gathers it in at the 21, and Kentucky was to take advantage of that turnover. It sent Arliss Beach into the end zone on a pitch around the left side, and the Cats built their lead further to 35-17. And then Kentucky was to get the last points of the day in the fourth quarter. Mississippi State was 3rd and 9 at the 41 when Kevin Fant chased out of the pocket to the left, tried to throw deep. It was underthrown. Flowers picked it off for Kentucky, returned it to the 46. The Wildcats looking for the first down. At that point, called on number 5, Arliss Beach, who found a hole in the seam and worked his way forward. On 3rd and 6 at the 14, Lorenzen, the big guy, on a naked bootlegger to the left, picked up the first down, knocked off his feet at the 5-yard line. But the Wildcats called on Gibson. Number 30 responded with his first touchdown, and Kentucky finished the scoring for the day, 42-17 over Mississippi State.
Wednesday on Countdown to Signing Day. He's the number 1 rated wide receiver in the country. Last year, he had over 1,900 total yards with an amazing 28 TDs. Check out Early Do Set. Wednesday at 6:30 on Fox Sports Net.
Tomorrow on 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Andy Irons, Kelly Slater, and the boys go way big at the Quicksilver Pro in France.
And we've got a sneak peek at the new motocross movie, Crusty Demons 9. That's tomorrow at 5 p.m. on 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Introducing Fox Sports Net e-alert, an email tune-in reminder delivered directly to your computer whenever your favorite SEC, ACC, or Southern professional team will be playing live or prominently featured on any of our numerous Southern sports shows. Register at foxsports.com, keyword South. Click on the e-alert icon at the top of the page and select only the teams and only the sports that interest you. The registration is fast, very simple, and free. E-alert. Register today.
Simmons and the Texas Tech Attack battle a fierce Colorado assault. He's going all the way! And Tyler Tyler Ebel leads the mighty Bruins to the farm for a showdown with the Stanford Cardinal. Touchdown! College Football Saturday, presented by Kyocera.
It's the home of beer, football, cheese, and now all new comedy. Yes! This fall, Wisconsin is where the laughs live.
You're allergic to eggs.
Hey, pretty lady. You like what you see?
That 70 Show and A Minute with Stan Hooper.
Look! It's your head made out of cheese!
Holy Lord.
Whatever you do, come for the laughs, stay for the cheese.
Damn it, Hooper, you're shredding us like mozzarella!
It all begins this week on Fox.
A tradition at Mississippi State home games is the Cellular South Fanfare, located just west of Davis-Wade Stadium. Activity begins 3 hours before kickoff. Visit the Cellular South Fanfare before every MSU home game. This coming week, Mississippi State will have an open date, and Coach, it couldn't have come at a more opportune time. You don't like to talk about injuries. A lot of people think you're alibying or making excuses, but the fact remains, we had people go down and look like the Battle of the Bulge.
Well, right off the bat, you know, we have players that got hurt. You know, Quentin Culberson got hurt really early in the first part of the game, and then Will Rogers, our left guard, and now we lost to Blake Jones a week before, and we really only have two centers, and now we got both centers in the game, and you're very concerned if you lost one of them, then you would really be in trouble.
Coach, of course, with this open date, hopefully we'll have the opportunity to get some youngsters healed, to get back into some degree of consistency as far as our offensive line is concerned, and make preparations for the November stretch.
Well, the big thing, we'll get Blake Jones back, and that's a big positive, and also it gives us a time to, move some players around and give us some backup players at tight end. And I don't know if Aaron will be back, but hopefully he can. But the other players may not be back for the Alabama game.
And speaking of the Alabama game, that'll be 2 weeks from now. We'll be playing Alabama on November the 9th. That's a ball game to be played on the Mississippi State campus. We certainly look forward to having you and your family down with us to visit on what should be, we hope, an exciting day and maybe a very beautiful day weather-wise in November. Mississippi State and Alabama will be upcoming in 2 weeks, and we'll invite you to join us then for Mississippi State football with Coach Jackie Sherrill.